Paul is refunding people he scammed if they promise to stop suing him for the vastly larger amount he may owe them. And honestly, I'm conflicted because on the one hand, victims getting money is always great. And I'm proud that our investigation led to some real-world consequences. But I can't pretend that things are fixed or fine for people who entrusted me with their story when that's just not true. So here's the real, more complicated story in 3 parts. The refund offer, the Zoo tokens, the lawsuit, starting with the most important part. And if you get one thing from this story, this should be it. These are the estimated damages in CryptoZoo. $18.5 million, which comes from a combination of ZooCoin and NFT sales. And then this, much smaller percentage of that pie, is what Logan is actually offering to refund. On the condition, though, that all of the people who spent the last year suing him, for the larger damages, drop their case. So that's a refund of only 12% to drop 100% of the case. And as far as I can tell, Logan may be losing. Put in that light then, this refund starts to look less like a good faith attempt to make things right and more like a cynical bargaining chip to avoid getting in even more trouble. And a careful look at these refunds conditions show that Logan is even less serious of a person you may give him credit for. Logan is offering only a 1-month claim window for this refund, given a year after waiting, and hidden in this wall of text is the most shocking part, which is that he's not releasing the CryptoZoo game at all, which I know we all kind of knew that, but is actually insane because that's the thing. To be clear, he's sold millions of dollars of NFTs for and tens of millions of dollars of in-game CryptoZoo tokens for. I knew he wasn't going to make it, right? We all get that. But I watched for 3 years as Logan's fans, and that's what these investors were. They were fans of Logan Paul. They spent 3 years begging this guy to make this game. And the entire time, he told them he was working on it. And I thought, even at my most pessimistic, that Logan would at least crap out some abomination that he described as a game that limped past our lowest collective expectations. But I was wrong. I mean, I wasn't wrong the first time he said I was wrong when he said he was going to still finish the game. I was wrong that he was going to do it at all.
But even after 12 months of work, you've still managed to overlook one crucial piece of information. See, even though I've said it's coming so many times, you've assumed that CryptoZoo isn't being made. Who are you to decide when the development timeline ends? Trust me, CryptoZoo is coming. I will make damn sure of it.
Oops, so much for making damn sure of it, because there's no game. This is what makes this such a massive con. This guy sold millions in NFTs, tens of millions of Zoo tokens, and he's not even going to release the thing he promised this whole time. This is why it's such a slap in the face. These investors spent 3 years waiting for a game. Not only that, 2 years waiting for an update, which he never gave, and then a year suing him. And after all of that, all he offers is a 12% refund, no game, 30 days to accept. So look, Logan's already taking heat for making good on a promise that he made a year late, but that's not even true. He's not making good on this promise because it's not the same promise. Last year, what he promised was no strings attached buyback and you get a game. This year, it's please drop your lawsuit and you don't get a game, which is incredible to me that there are influencers out there like KSI parading this around like a win for Logan Paul, like he's some sort of hero for offering a year late, half-baked settlement offer. KSI says, what will the haters say now? I don't know. How about where's the game? Where's the art? Where's the millions invested? Where's the motivation for this tweet? Oh, wait. KSI is a co-founder with Logan and Prime. So, of course, that makes KSI Logan's new biggest fan. But seeing as how Logan treats his biggest fans, don't say I didn't warn you. So that's part one, the refund. Now part two is the Zoo tokens. Remember, there were 2 parts to CryptoZoo, the Zoo tokens and Egg NFTs. Now, the tokens were the vast amount of damages that were actually caused, while the NFT sales were much lower. Logan conveniently wants to refund this much smaller part of his game, the NFTs, while pretending that these Zoo tokens were never a real part. They were just gambling. Now, this was sort of less bad when the game was still going to come out because, you know, it made some sense. Maybe you'd still have these tokens, but now it makes no sense at all. From Logan's statement, this buyback is a way for me to make whole those who intended to play CryptoZoo. The buyback is not intended to compensate those who gambled on the crypto market and lost. So he's describing people who bought his in-game currency as gamblers. But that's confusing, because the whole point of these Zoo tokens was to buy the egg NFTs and play the game. That's literally how it worked, according to him. So instead, he calls people gamblers, despite also saying, quote, Zoo Token was created to support the CryptoZoo game and its players. It was, quote, not intended to be an investment vehicle. So how can he say that, then turn around and say people who bought this were gambling? If it's not an investment, how can you refund people who intended to play CryptoZoo if you don't refund people who bought the token that was, quote, created to support the CryptoZoo game? You can't. It makes no sense. And this is why I say this isn't even close to a full refund. And now that he's abandoning the game, what we actually have is millions of dollars of in-game currency Logan sold that he won't pay back. Which brings us to the final part of this story, the third part, the lawsuit. After telling all his fans that they were gamblers who lost, Logan has one final surprise. He says, quote, I have filed a lawsuit in federal court in Texas to hold these bad actors accountable, people who ruin CryptoZoo. But what Logan doesn't tell you is that Texas lawsuit is something he's being sued in already. He's a defendant in the lawsuit that he links in his tweet. He's just cross-suing his co-defendants. Like, he's already being sued, and he's just re-suing the same guys who are already being sued. And who are these secret bad actors Logan's going to hold accountable anyway? Turns out it's his employees he hired, Eddie Ibanez and Crypto King, which all of us already knew because I investigated the story a year ago. But imagine my surprise when Logan Paul tries to rewrite my investigation to pretend he did all the work himself and uncovered the real scam of CryptoZoo while simultaneously trying to erase his part in it. He says, and I find this very funny because I spent a year on that story, quote, this lawsuit is the result of an exhaustive investigation that included the review of the entirety of conversations. You'd be forgiven to think he was quoting my investigation. He's not. He copied it and tried to rewrite it to make himself look good. In this lawsuit, he says things like, hey guys, turns out Eddie Ibanez's entire backstory was a fabrication, including the MIT NFL story. Can you believe it? It's like, yeah, we know. And then he goes, yeah, well, you won't believe what I discovered. Crypto King secretly sold tokens. Yeah, we know. Logan just shamelessly rips off my work claim for claim without citing me. I mean, he says things like Mr. Greenbaum would later admit that he made millions of dollars through his surreptitious sales of Zoo tokens. But where did Logan find that admission? Was it perhaps when he investigated my video? Time and time again, this lawsuit copies my work, but is embarrassed to cite it. So they even have to say things like, based on public reports. What public report? Mr. Ibanez made approximately $1.7 million from selling Zoo tokens. I could swear I've heard that before. And for my calculations, he made about $1.7 million. Now look, I don't usually mind people using my work, but it's kind of a little strange that Logan is simultaneously trying to discredit my work, saying this lawsuit is not based on snippets of conversation taken out of context, a snipe at my investigation, while then stealth quoting it to pretend that they did any real legwork. And look, if you found that shameless, that he tries to steal my work and pass it off as his own investigation, this next part gets even worse. Because Logan's story this whole time has been that it's all other people's fault. You know, it's just bad acts. Everyone but him is bad. He was always well-intentioned. But his timeline contradicts him. According to his investigation, which is actually my investigation, in August and October of 2021, he learns that Jake Greenbaum and Eddie Ibanez are bad news, and he kicks them out of his team. So what does he do after that? He's gotten rid of the bad actors. Can't blame them anymore, right? Does he make CryptoZoo? No. For a full year before I made my video, Logan Paul had full control over his project. He admits it in his own lawsuit. And he did nothing. He said nothing. So how does he avoid accountability now? Well, enter the whipping boy Jeff. That's right. Manager Jeff is making one last appearance. Logan blames Jeff for screwing up September 2021 through 2022. But you know what he doesn't mention? What he'll never mention? The real reason the project didn't get back on track is not because of Eddie, not because of Crypto King, but because Logan's own team stopped paying developers who were working on rebuilding the game. So those people stopped working on CryptoZoo. And that's when I found it. The game was dead. It had been dead for months. And that's when I made a big stink out of it. Meaning, it was 100% within Logan's power to save this game. I'm not saying nobody else did bad things, But Logan ultimately had over a year to launch it, to make things right, and he didn't. For financial reasons. Not because someone backstabbed him. He just didn't want to spend the money it would take to make things right. And you know what? That is still true now. It is still 100% within Logan Paul's power as a near billionaire with Prime to make things right, fully right, with his fans who he scammed. And if he did, gave a full refund, we would all celebrate. Me foremost. But will he? Or will he try to dodge responsibility, cheap out, rip his fans off, and avoid accountability? I think it's the latter. So, those are the three main points. You're all caught up. To recap, part one, refunds. They're being used as a bargaining chip to drop a lawsuit, and so he never has to produce this game, which has been promised for 3 years, and he's sold tens of millions of dollars for. Part two is the zoo tokens. He's pretending they're not for a game that they definitely were for to avoid refunding people, when in fact he admits they were created to support the game. Part three is the lawsuit, where he stole my investigation, tried to pass it off as his own, but just cuts out the part where he did everything wrong, and leaves out the entire year where he was solely in charge of the project. No bad actors. He could have fixed everything, but he didn't, because he's cheap and doesn't want to pay anybody. Anyway, I hope that catches you up with what's been going on, and I hope we as a community can have the nuance and complexity to hold in our minds two things at the same time as true. One, it's always good if victims get any money back, and we should celebrate that. However, number two is that doesn't mean we can't fight for 100% of what they deserve. And Logan Paul is not a hero for doing this or making things right. He's a serial scammer who's offering a minority refund as a last-ditch effort to save his wallet and his reputation.
In a world where scammers run amok, one internet detective is ready to call all of them out. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I am your Sifu, CoffeeZilla. And welcome to Fake Guru Fridays. Guys, that's right. Each day has a theme, and we're bringing back Fake Guru Fridays. This is one of my favorite days that, I don't know, we just kind of lost it in the mix, so we're bringing it back. And today we're answering an age-old question, which is, pyramid schemes are often pitched to people who don't have much financial know-how. They're usually pitched to lower income communities who just don't know better, who are desperate. You get the idea. Nothing on them. It's just this predatory tactic. But what happens when you try to pitch to real investors a pyramid scheme? An insane idea. What do you do? What do real investors do when they are pitched insane ideas? Well, the result is incredible. But for this, we're going to have to go to the computer, so let's go. Wow, look, nice graphics, fancy graphics. Paid a lot of money for that. I hope you guys didn't know you don't. Very legitimate. So, see, look, some people say it's green screen. It can't be a green screen. I'm wearing green right now. That's possible. Anyways, let's get this started, shall we? Okay. Oh, not the right page.
Logan Paul is refunding people he's...
Hasan Piker is my least favorite person on the internet.
America deserved 9/11, dude. I'm saying it.
So today we're going to be making fun of Hasan and his loser-ass fans because they're hypocritical
Human trash.
and I think they suck. And I'm going to prove that I'm right with video evidence. So buckle up.
Just because you're woke doesn't change the reality that you are being a f***ing douchebag.
It's going to be a fun one, so let's get started. If you're unaware of who Hasan Piker is, first off, God bless. But Hasan Piker is the biggest political streamer on Twitch right now. Grandma, Twitch is a platform where you can watch live streams And live streams are like YouTube videos, but live, like TV was. Hassan is a hardworking man, I gotta give him that. He's streaming every day, like 10 hours a day, and now he has an audience that's bigger than the BBC. Not that kind, but this kind. Pause. Come on. Now, if you didn't know, Hassan is not just any political streamer, but he is a socialist, very left-leaning, that is the right, very left-leaning political streamer. One that loves to virtue signal about eating the rich and workers' rights and how everybody should have the means of production and blah 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 blah. Which is all fine and good if you're into that sort of thing. Not a message for everybody in this country, but I would assume that we can all agree that if you're going to preach these things as violently as Hassan does,
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers in a video game. Sorry. Holy shit. Murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods, dude.
then you should at the very least live by those rules, right? Like, I would assume that's fair. Yeah, he doesn't do that shit. One of my favorite Hassan moments that I think just sums him up perfectly is when he was on stream watching a house tour from my personal favorite E-celeb, Sniper Wolf. And of course he's going to be talking about like how excessive it is, how nobody needs a house like this.
Dude, this is like unimaginable wealth, dude. How the do people make this much money? $2.9 million near Las Vegas? Dude, oh my fucking lord, dude.
And then less than a month later, he buys a house even more expensive than the one in the video, dude. You can't make this shit up. I love this guy. He's hilarious. Hassan is unintentionally hilarious, but you know what's not funny? Having your identity stolen. That's why today's video is sponsored by Aura. Aura is an all-in-one, easy-to-use digital solution that helps prevent digital threats from reaching you and your family. The first day I used Aura, they found 17 different security breaches for my passwords and a virus on my computer. And then they proceeded to take care of all of that immediately for me. I just put in my email, put in my phone number, clicked a few buttons, and they took care of it for me. It was very easy.
Oni-chan, Kamal, this sounds baller, but how does it work?
Well, Terry, Aura protects all your information with VPN, antiviral, and password management software, plus a bunch of other things too.
Say what? Boy, you tripping, this is mad tight.
I know, right? Plus it comes with a $1 million identity theft insurance policy. So if worse comes to worse, you got a check on the way. And it's only $12 a month. Antivirus software alone is more than that.
Kamal, stop. This is too late. I'm dead ass dreaming. I'm sure of it.
I know, and it helps get rid of spam callers and spam emailers, because we all know they suck.
Well, damn Kamal, enough blabbering. How do I get my hands on this magical product?
Well, Terry, if you use the link in my description or go to aura.com/Kamal, you can get a 2-week free trial on me. I'm not there paying for it, I'm not paying for it, but I'm a part of it, so on me. Okay, now let's get back to roasting Hassan and his little minion crew. Past me, take it away. It was around this same time one of Hassan's fans, sees he's making a lot of money, and he asked him, he's like, what are you doing with this excessive amount of money that you're making to help the leftist causes? Let's see what Hassan's response was.
But be more transparent with your income. Nobody needs that much. What are you doing with it? How do you support left-wing politics? Very practical with your money. This notion that, like, what are you doing with your money is dumb as fuck.
What am I doing with my millions of dollars to help the cause that I'm constantly shoving down everyone's throat? A cause that's supposed to be about helping the poor and financial equality? A cause that I've used to make me millions of dollars? What am I doing to help that cause with my millions of dollars? Bro, fuck you. You racist, cop-loving slave owner. Is that all the buzzwords? Transphobic.
Where could I be spending my money? It's not like I take lavish vacations for a month and then come back. I do this every single day.
Guys, I don't even spend money. I've never spent a dime. How am I supposed to spend money when I'm always here? Duh. How am I supposed to give to charity when I'm always here, preaching the gospel?
So it's not like I'm, I live a secret double life where I am, blowing it all on mansions.
Now sub up, dumbass. I know I make millions of dollars just sitting in my room bullshitting. But look, We're all the same. Me and my $4 million mansion, and you working 15 hours on the Amazon Beltline. We're both Jeff Bezos' bitch. Neither of us have control over the means of production. I mean, well, I do because I actually own my business, and my employees definitely don't have any ownership in my main shit, and they damn sure aren't getting any sort of profit sharing or anything like that. That would be stupid.
Are you paying a percentage or something proportional to the millions that you're making off Twitch, right? Does that carry over to your Twitch? So sure, I believe you for your podcast.
To who? To what?
To editors, to moderators.
Yes.
Lies.
So you're paying moderators or a head of moderation.
No, not editors and not moderators.
Why do men lie so much?
I know I'm constantly demonizing everybody who does the exact same thing as I do, but, you know, just don't pay attention to that, because that would make me seem like a hypocritical asshole. And that's not fair to me, because I'm the victim. Duh. And if you disagree, you're racist, or a fascist, or something. Get off my dick. Shit. Broke bitch. The way this man can dodge accountability like an Asian man in a dodgeball game is honestly one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. But hey, you know, millions of people preach one thing and do another. It's funny to make fun of somebody for doing that, but they're not like a detriment on society, you know? It's not like he's radicalizing an audience bigger than the BBC boss. That would be fucked up. That would be bad. It's a good thing he's not doing that. Just kidding, he is, ha ha ha. I mean, his audience is the same people that are talking about how evil Fox News is, right? And hey, you're not gonna get any arguments from me. But I would argue that Hasan is on the same level, if not worse, than Fox News. R.I.P. Tuck. See, Hasan, my best friend, is known to have an audience that is, batshit crazy. Hasan is going to have the most progressive take on every single topic known to man, and anybody who doesn't agree with him to the molecular level is a bigoted piece of shit. You could have trans friends, love trans people, hell, even be trans, but maybe you just have a few questions about trans women playing sports with cis women. You are a transphobic piece of shit, and you should be sent to the gulag.
Even if trans women were completely dominating certain fields of sport, the only reason why you would consider that to be completely inappropriate and unnatural is if you think trans women are unnatural. And that's it. And that is where transphobia comes from. Transphobic, transphobia, transphobic, transphobic, transphobic.
During the Kyle Rittenhouse case, it was 100% impossible for it to be self-defense no matter what you saw in the video, because Republicans are bloodthirsty animals and they just want to get the legal kill.
Imagine risking your life for someone else's property. I mean, he wasn't even like technically risking his life. He was trying to get a legal kill. Like, that's what he was trying to do, and he got it. The greatest thing that could have happened to internet conservatives is this, because this is their fantasy. This is like the psychopathic, bloodthirsty fantasies that they've all had, okay?
Very healthy way at looking at half of the population. I guarantee, just because I said that, Hasan's fans think I'm some self-hating coon out here tap dancing for the white man. Just because I watched the video and I'm like, yeah, I mean, he was running away. Probably shouldn't have been there, but he was running away. They assume I hate black people, love all cops, love police shootings, all that. And it's Hasan and people like him that perpetuate this all or nothing mentality. Oh, if you say this one thing, these are all your thoughts. If you believe this one thing, you're a part of this much larger hateful group. It's just divisive nonsense. And the only thing it does is divide us even more as a country, especially when you're saying things like all Republicans are bloodthirsty animals that just want to get the legal kill. What is that actually doing to help anything? Especially when you're the one with the very public bloodthirsty history.
There's a study where it says that, you know, more cops actually die from suicide, I don't know, than gunfire and on the line of duty deaths.
What are you getting at?
Nothing. I'm just saying, you know, let's get those numbers up, baby.
These people are insane. They want you to ignore and dispute any sort of evidence that doesn't align with their philosophical beliefs. That's what people in cults do. This is not healthy. Please stop. Please stop. And of course, most recently, if you weren't 100% convinced that Israel did that hospital bombing, you are a genocidal, monstrous scumbag.
Terrible that the people died, but I encourage you to look into where Hamas was firing. You fucking piece of shit! You garbage, monstrous scumbag!
You garbage, monstrous scumbag. You said IDF didn't bomb the hospital, and then you said it did. But Hamas was firing rockets from it in the same 2-minute time frame. So why did you fucking lie at first?
I think most adults would agree that this is just a clown being performative and trying his best to virtue signal. But to a Hasan fan, this is brave? I don't know. I don't fully understand yet how they keep falling for this dumb shit. But either way, they believe it, and they're just as hateful, spiteful, and unforgiving as he is. So that's why it was so funny to me when Hasan was discussing the Israel-Palestine conflict with Ethan Klein, his very pro-Palestine Jewish co-host, that Ethan, even after October 7th, when obviously thousands of innocent Israelis were killed by Hamas, Ethan still wanted to make it very clear that he was very empathetic to the Palestinian plight, and that he even understood why Hamas would do what they did. Obviously, he wasn't justifying Hamas's actions, but he's just saying, like, he understands how the oppression of the Palestinian people could lead to something like this. And obviously, so far, Hasan's on board. But when Ethan goes to condemn the actions of Hamas, or wants to call out the callous and evil responses that he's seeing from people online, what does Hasan do? He's either pretending he can't see, he's playing with his dog, or he's giving whataboutisms. For those who don't know, whataboutisms is a technique or practice of responding to an accusation or difficult question by making a counter-accusation or raising a different issue. So basically it's like, I'm not making any concessions without bringing up some other shit. For example, let's say I go over to your house for Thanksgiving dinner, and I flip over the table because your mom's stuffing is trash. And you turn to me and you say, hey man, that wasn't nice. Could you please apologize and maybe even help me clean up all this macaroni and cheese off of the ground? I mean, come on, look at all this food you just wasted. And I'm like, I do understand that it's frowned upon to waste food. We agree on that. But what about Walmart, an American conglomerate that wastes thousands of pounds of food every single year because of the capitalist system that we're all a slave to? Did you ever think about that? You get it. Obviously, the topics were a lot more serious during that discussion, but that's basically what Hasan was doing anytime it got to any sort of sympathy for Israel. Because that's what Hasan does. If something doesn't fit his America bad narrative, he either won't acknowledge it or he'll say it's racist. Which is ironic for somebody who's so openly racist, but, you know, whatever.
Horny, Westoid, Angloid-brained, disgusting filth. Disgusting filth, dude. Eurocentrist trash.
You dumb cracker bitch.
I guess it's okay because, like, sometimes he calls himself white and then sometimes he's Turkish, sometimes he's American, sometimes he's not. You know, it's like whatever's convenient for him, he just kind of picks and chooses because he's a piece of shit with no backbone, but you know, whatever. People can say Hasan cares so much because of the mistreatment of the Palestinian people, and I really do hope that's true. But Hasan clearly picks and chooses when he wants to care about people's sovereignty. When it comes to Israel-Palestine, he's on the Palestinian people's side 1000%. But when it comes to Taiwan and China, you know, hey, as Americans, that's not our business.
What should the U.S. be doing about the Taiwanese conflict? Shut the fuck up about it and don't rock the boat.
Foreign policy? Hasan would never.
How do we feel about Taiwan, Hasan? China or not
Taiwan?
China? Or is it China or not China?
That's the American policy. Whatever the American policy is, whatever the American perspective
What's your
is.
opinion? You really won't say?
No, I'm saying it's like one country, two systems. You know?
No, it's not. It's two different countries.
Really?
And before Hasan's dumb-ass fans start running their mouth, I do understand that the Taiwan and China issue and the Israel and Palestine issue are not one-to-one. But I would assume a socialist like Hasan, somebody who cares so much about human rights, would care all of the time, not only when it goes against what the American government is saying. But as I was saying earlier, unfortunately for Ethan, he did not get any concessions or empathy from his BFF Hasan, but he did get a nice little hate brigade from his fan base and moderators, calling him every single kind of racist, bigoted, he hates brown people, he hates Palestinians, all this crazy shit, even though this man was literally crying over the Palestinian plight on this same podcast.
Dude was holding his infant. It was like a year old. And he was like patting her on the back and saying like his final goodbye. I mean, he's holding her like she's alive, like he's just burping her or something. I didn't expect to get emotional about that, but like, I'm a new dad of that shit. really fucks me up.
And Hassan doing Hassan things, taking a vulnerable moment where your friend is crying and using that as an opportunity, again, to shit on America.
The feelings that you are demonstrating here and the empathy that you're demonstrating and showing towards Palestinians is unfortunately not represented by our administration, and it's not represented by our media.
The people need to hear the truth. America, bad. I don't know if you've heard, but it kind of sucks over here. Well, in total fairness, Hassan is a dumbass, so I guess I shouldn't be expecting anything rational from him, right? I mean, this was the podcast where Hassan referred to infants as baby settlers.
Let's not obfuscate, okay? I understand what you're saying, but this dude just called babies militants.
No, I understand. And there are baby settlers as well. But there are baby settlers as well. There are babies in the settlements.
This is where we're at in this country. It's pretty sad. Baby settlers, really? But obviously, Ethan is the one with the problem here. It's not Hassan's fans who are constantly asking for the death of people. And it's definitely not Hassan, the same person that was laughing maniacally as a woman was getting shot multiple times and attacked by a dog.
Oh my God! Watch out! Are you okay? No, you shot me! Oh, God. Are you okay?
How could one man care so much? Like, wow. See, this behavior is 100% justified because that lady was a cop and those babies were settlers. Baby settlers, but still settlers. So, have fun in the afterlife. You know, you made your choice. Colonizer-ass babies? Remember, Hassan's fans are just empathetic leftists that want the best for the worker. He doesn't have the right to the means of production. Come on, that's empathy. Random side note, I don't feel bad for Ethan. I think people should, but it's not gonna be me. Okay, because from where I'm standing, Ethan is the guy whose friend is over there pickpocketing every single person in the local town, and he's just watching him do it, laughing away, and then when he comes back and pickpockets his dumbass, he's like, what happened? It's like, bitch, where have you been? Aren't you the same guy that shitted on half of the people on this platform, but you don't have 35 seconds to look up how shitty your co-host is? Are you a dumbass? What kind of sense does that make? I don't feel bad for people who do stupid shit like that. But this video is not about you, it's about your dumbass friend, so let's move on. Now, I've been talking a lot of shit, clearly. But in fairness, I've been tuning into Hassan's streams. I've been watching his videos at full length. As painful and cringe as they are. Just because I don't want to do the exact same thing Hassan does, which is start with a narrative, that narrative being Hassan is a piece of shit, and only watch content that supports that narrative. Otherwise, I'm no better than him. Honestly, I think I would still be better than him, but you know, just in case. There is one video that I do want to talk about because
Oh yes, we are checking.
It's a video where this guy goes around to these old mining towns, interviewing people, and showing everyone just how fucked these towns really are. Now, how do you think Hassan's going to react? Do you think he's going to be A, tactful, show emotion, be empathetic, B, be a judgmental asshole and jump to conclusions and be wrong most of the time, or C, actually do it? No, I'm kidding, it's B. Obviously it's B.
There's a massive crisis in rural healthcare that goes even beyond affordability. They just don't have it. We're talking areas where people go to the vet for healthcare, okay?
I did a little bit of research, not a lot, so I could have missed it, but a little. And I didn't see anything about people going to a vet because of lack of infrastructure for hospitals. And also, what kind of city would have the infrastructure for a hospital for their dogs, but not for people? That just seems like stupid, but you know, maybe he's being hyperbolic, maybe I just missed it. I crack jokes all the time, so we're gonna keep it going.
How about in Welsh right now? Is it a close community? People, pretty tight?
Yeah, it's pretty tight here. Everybody looks out for one another, you know. You get out of here, this town, you know, everybody's so many different walks of life.
Bro,
I'm gonna say something that's gonna piss people off right now, but even like a sense of community being fostered here and less police presence in this town, and also the ability to be able to get your social security and other government amenities that allows people to survive is yet another fucking indication of white supremacy in certain respects. These people are not privileged by any means, but white privilege is still a very real reality, because the black equivalent of this is so much fucking worse, because on top of that, you literally have an oppressive occupying force constantly breathing down your fucking neck and constantly trying to get you in trouble and harassing you on a daily basis.
You see these poor ass white people looking like Far Cry 5 characters, and your dumbass thinks now is the time to bring up white privilege. This is droid behavior. Poor white American male does not fit narrative. Does not fit narrative. Must say something fucking stupid to my chat. Processing. Processing. These people are poor as fuck, but at least they're not black. Hassan, you're so smart. You killed that shit, and your head is normal sized. Oh, I love making YouTube videos. It is so much fun. This is obviously forced and performative, and as a black African American Negro, don't know if you know this, it's weird. Please stop using us to get your virtue signal points. It's disgusting.
So whatever policies support coal, you're gonna vote for that guy.
Yeah, Trump for the coal.
Yeah.
And Jim Justice for the coal, you know.
Yeah.
And if we get somebody in there want to go windmills or gas, everybody be out of job around here.
Yeah. If this guy was black, I wouldn't doubt they would have different responses. Yeah, no shit. I didn't say that they're like the...
Fuck me.
most non-problematic people. Yeah, dude, the fucking guy living in a shed on the side of fucking gravel road in West Virginia where he doesn't have access to the internet all the time is not the most woke person. That's crazy. Think about how less susceptible to radicalization you are, less susceptible to radicalization you are, less susceptible to radicalization you are.
But there are baby settlers as well. There are babies in the settlements.
And then think about your material conditions, your way of existence, your day-to-day activities in whatever fucking town you live in, okay?
Less susceptible to radicalization, huh? That's so interesting. I guess since you live in a city, you're smarter. It's impossible for a narcissistic hypocrite to come along, pretend to be your friend, convince you that the frustrations in your life aren't your fault, and radicalize you into watching them all the time, saying hurtful shit and demonizing every single person with a slightly differing opinion. I'm so glad that would never happen to you guys. That would be a tragedy.
So all those nice houses coming into Grundy from West Virginia, who are those people? Cold, old money stuff? Or?
Some of them. I mean, and then you have, your school teachers. They live in some of the nicer homes.
So this is a place where the school teacher can live in a nice home?
Oh, yeah.
Bro, I'm sorry, I do not. Like, what? Dude, no. This guy's not delivering you factually accurate information.
The irony of a self-proclaimed propagandist, somebody that has 10,000 videos of them being wrong over and over and over again, like a dumbass.
Yeah, I know you live in this town, you probably grew up in this town, but you don't know the people who live in that house. I know I'm too fucking stupid to use the internet, but you don't know what kind of people live in that house.
Idiot. So yeah, it took like 4 seconds and nice houses are like 80,000 to like 200. Plenty in the 100s, plenty below 100. So yeah, this is what people are talking about when they say Hassan doesn't do any research, he just talks out of school. I know this one's a bit more trivial, but he does this with everything. Because if there's cheap houses that government workers can afford, then America not evil, and America evil. If it doesn't fit the Hassan narrative, then it's not real. Because his loser-ass fan base needs excuses to complain. And finally, it's like a light went on in my head. I realized that's what Hassan's job is. It's not to spread the news or spread socialism or even be entertaining. Hassan is kind of like the opposite of Tony Robbins.
Every day I demand more for myself than anybody else can possibly expect.
Instead of like selling you a dream that you can make it and be successful, he just gives you I'm pretty sure that's why the audience allows them to avoid accountability the way that they do. Because they don't want accountability either. And if Hassan's accountable, so are they. They're like, I want to call myself a socialist while doing absolutely nothing too. That way I can act like I care about humanity and virtue signal while still being a complete piece of shit. That's why they go to bat for him so hard even when it doesn't make sense. Because if they didn't, they'd have to look in the mirror and realize that they're losers. It is a bit sad and disgusting to wrap this video up, I'm gonna say some shit that a lot of people are not gonna like, but I don't care. As a red-blooded American, it bothers me that we have Hassan, an super baby rich kid who grew up in Turkey, idolizing our culture. Couldn't get off hard, has the singular job of shitting on America. And I'm not even trying to be like, oh, you're not from here, you need to go back home. But I think I proved today that his only train of thought is America bad. He doesn't even have any sort of solutions. I mean, this is a grown-ass man in his 30s who calls himself a socialist, talks about socialism all day to demonize people, but doesn't even have the basic solution of how to hire people when it comes to implementing socialism.
Here's where this is more, like, it's a nice theory, but, like, in application, it makes no sense. Who decides how much value he's got? If my show is growing, and I say, yeah, I now want to do $15. But the show was organically grown. How can I attribute all 5 of that to Dan?
You're absolutely correct on this. This is a big this is something that I do not have an answer for either, which is why, like I said, you make do with, you try to do your very best.
Can I be, this seems like a big problem to say you don't have a solution for it.
For hiring employees, yeah, you don't know how to do hiring. That seems to be a pretty, and this is the whole central part of your theory is better employment. That's a pretty big issue. Like,
to me, it's clear that you're not here to actually give advice. You're not here to bring actual solutions. The only thing you use socialism for is to shit on American capitalism, which you moved here to benefit from in every single way you can. You're a bigger capitalist than 99.9% of Americans. You clown.
Cheers, mate.
He clearly doesn't care about actual change. He told you himself.
And I tweeted my complaint complaining about canon specs. And this person in the comments shows up. Why aren't you building the revolution? I feel like you and Hassan should pool your resources and you're like, what are you talking about? I'm a guy with a laptop and internet connection and two opinions. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, my favorite is when someone who thinks that they're like social democrat even, but like really they're just neoliberal, will come and be like, Hassan, why don't you start a super PAC to like bring about socialism in America? And I'm like, brother, I don't think a single billionaire could even do that. And that motherfucker has billions.
So nothing? So there's just nothing? Or what is the... I like how they laugh at the idea of doing something.
He's here to bullshit around, but his bullshit is actually making this country worse. Now, I'm not saying this country is perfect or anything close to perfect, but when all you've done is benefit from being in America, but you make your entire identity shitting on it and the people that are born here, I'm gonna have a problem with that. Sorry, I'm not one of these self-hating losers that looks up to. And hey, maybe I'm wrong here, but I feel like anyone with an ounce of love for their own country will understand where I'm coming from. If you guys made it to the end, I really do appreciate you. And if you want to watch me dunk on Hassan and his loser-ass friends even more, check out this video. Is it here? Is it here? I don't know yet, but it's somewhere on the screen. You can find it. It's my most popular video. People seem to like it for whatever reason.
If you haven't been living under a rock, you've most definitely heard of online politics. From Stephen Destiny Banal II to Hassan Hassanabi Piker, streamer politics has warped and changed many times since its inception. And as a follow-up to my previous Iceberg video focusing exclusively on Destiny, I decided to take a wider look at the environment behind many of the creators we know today. Cataloging some of the most notable community members and events in an Iceberg format, the Iceberg goes from most known information to least known information. Journeys, downfalls, backlash, controversy, and allegations. This is the Streamer Politics Iceberg.
Feeling good. Can't get rid of me, Meg.
Starting off Tier 1, we have not only one of the most important political streamers of all time, but also one of the most important streamers full stop. From the height of his career, being a StarCraft 2 semi-pro and the most popular streamer on Twitch, to shifting the needle on some of the most pertinent aspects of being a streamer. Destiny has left a massive impact on the content creation space. Some of his achievements include his DDoS protection guide, his pioneering of live IRL content by streaming his PC Skype application and video calling himself on his phone while he went outside, getting himself warnings from administrators frequently for talking about politics outside of gaming, and for his pivot in 2016 to exclusively political-based content. In the beginning, there was nothing. The Twitch politics community didn't exist before Destiny. He began taking on right-wing YouTubers and members of the skeptic community, questioning their views and offering a rational liberal perspective in opposition, frequently besting them. However, after a long series of events involving taking on misguided individuals from his own side, he was permanently banned on Twitch, and although this seemed like a major hit to his career, he kept a massive audience on his own website, Destiny.gg, and his own YouTube channel, maintaining a sizable fan base and incredible drive for content to this day. Hassanabi, better known as Hassan Piker, is notable for quite a few reasons. Perhaps you know him from his hilarious showings on Austin Show's Lever Host, his political pop commentary on Twitch, or even his appearances on Destiny's stream before their legendary fallout. After interning for his uncle's political news show, he quit and started his own live show discussing politics, getting his start with help from Destiny. But Hasan historically has never been very good with rhetoric, and a live stream moment spinning wildly out of control resulted in a metric ton of blowback that threatened to tear apart his career forever. In a clip that's now gone down in history as one of Hasan's most popular, Hasan, reacting to a clip of Republican Representative Dan Crenshaw on Joe Rogan, stated that America deserved 9/11 and made comments about him losing his right eye to an IED during his deployment in Afghanistan.
This is so insane. America deserved 9/11, dude. I'm saying it.
We're there to partner with them. We're not there doing our own thing. We're there partnering and training.
In a video
and
game.
Equipping and enhancing their capabilities. So that's part of what we're doing. And the other part is just knowledge. We want to know what's happening.
Like, we totally brought it on ourselves, dude. Holy shit. We did. We did. In a video game, whatever, hypothetically, politically, we did, man. We did. Holy shit. Holy shit. Look at the way that this dipshit is running his mouth.
Easy does it.
Justifying genocide right now. Like, how is this, how is anything I'm saying controversial? Like, we fund the people who did 9/11 still to this day. No. Donald Trump literally went on national television and said, they buy $10 million worth of weapons. So if they chop an American legal permanent resident, it's okay.
The backlash was immediate, from all angles, all across the world, and all across the internet, including Fox News, Kotaku, other streamers in his field, and the same show he was a host on, his uncles, the Young Turks, leading to a live confrontation.
Joining me now is Hasan Piker. He is part of the TYT network. He does Breakdown and now a new show, Agitprop. Hasan, welcome. And listen, you're on because you said some things that a lot of people, including myself, find very offensive. You did not say it on the Young Turks network. You said it on your own Twitch channel. So we're going to take him one at a time and have a conversation about it. In the past, when conservatives have said offensive things, I have said that they should keep their job and we should have a conversation about it. I said it about Megyn Kelly, Don Imus, and Rush Limbaugh. And so here we are. I'm living up to what I said about conservatives and progressives. We're having a conversation.
Ian Kaczynski, also known as Vosh Vidya or Irish Laddie, is a leftist political streamer who often describes himself as a socialist. He boasts an exceptionally committed fan base akin to his counterpart Destiny, resiliently navigating Twitch bans and Twitter suspensions. Vosh has emerged as an emblematic figure for the online far left, consequently amassing a substantial following across various social media platforms. But besides his other various controversies, which I've covered in depth in my other videos, Vosh is well known for having a relatively insular community and not interacting with many other creators outside his orbit. This is for a few reasons. For instance, his Fortress arc, in which he pledged to stop debating individuals outside his community and in general. But a well-known fact about Vosh is his continued Twitch bans for his abrasive rhetoric, with his main permanent ban stemming from a controversial statement about Israel.
Area, guess what? There's like 4 other countries that want to destroy Israel.
Yeah,
like,
all
yes,
very
Palestine-
validly. Israel is a massive economic and political threat to the countries in that area. You realize that all the nations in the Middle East have every reason to hate Israel, right? Like, you realize the Middle East would be calmer if they succeeded and obliterated Israel. If they nuked it and wiped it off the map. That would lead to a more peaceful.
Vosh was permanently banned from Twitch for this clip, and per TOS, he was barred from showing up on other streamers' channels who were streaming on the website, neutering his clip. As a contrast from some of the more depressing stories we've discussed so far, Dylan Burns' story is the exact opposite. It's a story of triumph and entertainment in a community that often feels like it wants to see its best members fail. It's so interesting, in fact, that it almost deserves its own video. For now, though, allow me to introduce Dylan Burns. You may know him as a war journalist on the front lines in Ukraine for his high-quality investigative content. But what you may not know is his humble beginnings planted firmly in Twitch politics. For a while, Dylan Burns was the glue that held the Twitch politics community together. Through friendship breakups, bridge burns, and everything else, all would show up to fight for their respective ideologies on the famed Hippy Dippy Debate Championships. Founded in 2020, it featured some of the most hilarious moments in online politics history. From Destiny vs. Demon Mama to the heated GameStop debates, it had everything viewers wanted and then some. Here's some fun clips of the show.
The Hippy Dippy Championship over the last year has become a mainstay for entertainment and political Twitch and all over the world. The reason for that longevity is, as the times have changed, so have we. The first topic is the filibuster. Should it be kept? Should it not? Thrown up to the room?
Absolutely not.
No, you fucking don't.
Do you know how to debate without using logical fallacies?
Yes, I will add. I will add on you.
Infrastructure is a communist buzzword, and Trump had the economy going. Yeah, it's rough out there. Get a dump.
Oh my god!
I get a DM from Dylan Burns, and he says that the rules have changed, that I'm not the Hippy Dippy champion anymore.
Vosh was not the most respectful champion of the business. Dan, did you lie to me?
Did I lie to you?
Did you speak this topic?
I spoke last round, not on this round, no. Wow. Goodbye.
Anyway, I'm now Law and Order moderator.
The show continued regularly for upwards of 2 years, generating some of the most entertaining live stream content ever. But, fortunately, all good things come to an end, and eventually, Dylan Burns decided to pursue a different venture. And that venture was located on the front lines of the war in Ukraine. Dylan's journey from panel host to war journalist is incredibly inspiring and triumphant, a testament to what you can do online if you truly are persistent and passionate. However, on the 13th of July 2021, Dylan published a tragic message to the community.
The Hippy Dippy Roundtable has been going on for around 2 years now. It has had many offshoots, like the Hippy Dippy Recruitment Show, the short-lived dating show, and my personal favorite, the Hippy Dippy Championship. During this time, we've had a constant presence on Fridays for those who are politically inclined to come to Twitch. As other debate shows came and went, and many went head-to-head with us for the Friday slot, Hippy Dippy always stood the test of time. As the times changed, so did we. We implemented new rules, tried new formats, got new guests, and did our best to improve the show. This culminated in the Hippy Dippy Roundtable being the #1 political debate show on Twitch for over a year. I put 2 years of work into the show to accomplish this, but it was also the work of our amazing scheduler, Danabo, who deserves more praise for this accomplishment than anyone. But there comes a time when someone needs to read the writing on the wall. The amount of Twitch political streamers who have retired, banned, or slowly faded away has continued to increase. While this could be dealt with by an ever-expanding list of new streamers we would bring in through the Hippy Dippy Recruitment Show, the quality of new recruits leaves much to be desired at times. It takes time for them to figure out the ropes, multiple appearances on the Recruitment Show over the relatively long time span. This becomes an issue when you need guests now, and old guests that used to bring large audiences with them are no longer available. So when you find yourself in a situation where you have less and less established streamers to rely on, this means your show is going to have a disproportionate amount of new streamers on any program we put together on average. While it's awesome to platform so many new faces in the space at the same time, it also means those new streamers will be in front of less and less people because other established streamers aren't there to bring viewers with them. This creates the strange situation where the more small streamers you platform on one show at the same time, the less it helps the smaller streamers. That is why I'd always wanted there to be 1 to 2 new streamers on a show with 6 to 7 established streamers on there as well. It was a good balance that satisfied everyone. Sadly, this balance has been upset with less and less established streamers to pull from. This goes without saying, but me being in Ukraine has also made it difficult to manage Hippy Dippy as well. The internet connection in many of the places I've been staying is understandably not great. The majority of my attention has been on the war since I arrived here. This includes booking interviews, traveling, safety precautions, etc. With this being my main focus, it is hard for me to give a lot of attention to booking, managing, and improving Hippy Dippy. So with all of this in mind, I am officially canceling Hippy Dippy for the time being.
Ending Tier 1, we have the Cold Feet Crowder controversy. The feud began in 2021 when Steven Crowder, a conservative YouTuber, criticized Ethan Klein, the host of the H3H3 podcast, for his views on the vaccine. Crowder accosted Klein for his views and claimed he would be a layup in the debate. The feud escalated when Crowder actually invited Klein to a debate. However, when it started, Ethan brought up Crowder's previous statement that he would be a layup and agreed, before secretly inviting Sam Cedar, a liberal commentator, to the call to finally have their legendary debate matchup. Part of Sam and Crowder's beef is that Crowder was accused of cancelling on Politicon, a political debate and panel conference event, years earlier, when he learned that Cedar would be his opponent. Crowder was caught off guard by Sam showing up and was clearly enraged before storming off the live stream.
Into a little bit of a meme, which wasn't intentional, and was you saying you don't even have to think about it regarding the CDC. And I disagree with that. I think people should think about it. I believe, and we talked about this through Playful Ribbing, in an aggregation of medical authorities and scientific voices to make an informed and rational decision. So where do you think that I'm wrong on that?
Steven, do you know that the Spartans are like practice man love with children?
Oh, geez, this is what's going to happen. What did I tell you? He was going to do anything he could to avoid. Oh, there he is! Oh no, Sam Cedar! What a fucking nightmare! I had no idea this was going to happen. I thought Ethan was a stand-up guy. This is where we are. Yeah, I told Dave, remember I told you? I said I guarantee you he's going to do anything he can to avoid the debate.
Well, I just think he believes that he should debate you.
No, he doesn't. He just takes advantage of women with, mental health issues. Ethan Klein doesn't stand up and do his own fighting. It's just let's bring on FM.
You would do anything to avoid talking to me. I think the point that you made
at
at
the beginning of
Joe
this
Rogan.
Yeah, Joe Rogan and Dave Rubin and Jordan Peterson and Noam Chomsky and Sam Harris. Everyone's been avoided.
Not just attempting to get your audience by jumping in.
Steven, I mean, it's about issues. Let's talk about those issues.
That's what you're doing here. You're so clever. I had no idea that you were taking your show off early last time, coming in today with your pig pen peanuts on. You take those off with a velveteen.
Steven, I don't know why.
No one's worried about it. Sam, I didn't want to do it.
Let's have a
Sam,
debate.
come
If
on.
no one's
I'll tell you what. I
worried,
have a general
This is a
rule.
great
I
opportunity.
don't start a debate based with people on a lie. And how about you get
sabotaging?
How about you get
Steven,
to
show yourself, you coward. Steven, show yourself. Don't show your co-host.
Ethan, you should show yourself.
Ethan, how can you respect yourself as a man, brother?
Steven, you are such a coward. Stop showing your little leprechaun co-host who comes out just like your sidekick.
Ethan, why do you have to bring on
Show Steven! Why
Saddest thing I've ever heard. So you have
Just show Steven.
less viewers to come on to debate him because you.
Well, obviously, if I'm a layup and not a debater.
Well, look, you're the one who called. You're the one who got
debate. You're the one that got angry about
Show
it.
Steven. Don't be such a
All
coward.
right, hold on. Let me hear what Pigpen has to say here really quick.
Fair enough.
But Ethan, look, I don't. Hold on a second, Ethan. This because I came out here to talk. Ethan, come on. Look, the same reason that I haven't ever had a conversation with Sam Peters, the same reason that Joe Rogan, Sam Harris, Brett Weinstein, Dave Rubin, Ben Shapiro don't own anything. It's based on a lie, Ethan. Just
What's
like
the
you
lie?
claiming my... Ethan,
What's the
you
lie,
claiming
Steven?
my
What's the
booker
lie,
reached
Steven?
out to you, Ethan, when you know
Steven,
that's
what's the
not
lie?
true. There's no
What's
one
the
ducking
lie?
you,
Why
Sam.
are you
I've
so
never...
afraid?
Sam,
Yeah, listen, I think you're a smart guy.
Tier 2. The React content drama is generally pretty difficult to understand. It's got a lot of different moving parts and involves multiple streamers in and outside the Twitch politics community. From Dark Viper's heavily researched video essays on the topic to the takes of other drama streamers like ChudLogic, the more you talk about it, the more complicated the topic seems to get. But chiefly, I want to focus on the views of streamers that are most popular within the space we're talking about today. An example is YouTuber JXE, whose streamer Hassan Piker slighted when they played her video live on stream, and a few minutes into the video, physically left the room, providing no commentary at all.
In November 2020, I released a YouTube video making fun for Weird Pets. In July of 2021, Hassan streamed a reaction to this video live on Twitch, which he spent the majority of either absent or eating food, pausing to comment very rarely, ending up adding less than 2 minutes of total commentary to my 14-minute video, which he plays in full. He does not give credit. I soon after responded with a satirical live stream, making sure to outline what my actual perspective was both in the stream and in the pinned comment. This perspective was basically, I'm fine with reaction content. Hang on, let's repeat that again, slowly and clearly. I am fine with reaction, but I don't think it's cool to go around playing people's full videos in the stream without adding anything or giving credit unless you have their express permission. Hassan then responded on this next stream, first by apologizing and saying he wasn't going to watch any of my videos on the stream anymore. I would gladly never watch them. After this, he spent approximately the next 25 minutes making arguments as to why he didn't think he was in the wrong for doing it that way.
Aren't you taking views away? No, most YouTubers won't find out. Actually love that shit when Twitch streamers react to videos because they get
Obviously, many streamers within the space survive off of the ability to react to content and thus generate content off of their own reactions and discussions of the video. Creators against React content argue that once you've seen a React video from a streamer, you've got no reason to watch the original, and that it cannibalizes views from the original video. The opposing side argues that it promotes it and does the exact opposite. In March of 2022, Destiny was abruptly banned from Twitch permanently. The official reason cited by Twitch was hateful conduct, a broad term that encompasses a wide range of behaviors, leaving the exact nature of the incident that triggered Mono's ban remain unclear, as Twitch never even publicly disclosed the specific infraction. Destiny himself offered his own interpretation, suggesting that the ban may have been related to his ongoing discussions about transgender athletes' participation in women's sports. Regardless of the specific trigger, his ban spelled an unfortunate end to Twitch politics, with their most popular and most contentious figure erased from existence, and per TOS, unable to show up on anyone else's live streams. It's worth asking if Twitch's final decision was really in everyone's best interests. If you haven't watched my other video, Destiny vs. Vosh, A Fractured Friendship, I definitely recommend it to you. But this section doesn't exclusively focus on the unfortunate end of Destiny and Vosh's beautiful friendship, but rather their interactions interviewing Ro Khanna, their panel at VidCon, and how the community missed their chance for these two titans of online political discourse to join forces again. Hopes were high for the friendship believers when it was announced by Progressive Victory that streamers and political commentators Emma Vigilant from the Majority Report, Kaffles, Destiny, and Vosh would be collaborating for an IRL campaign, interviewing US Representative Ro Khanna and going on stage together at VidCon to talk about their pioneering of the political space. It's safe to say that things were looking up, especially considering Destiny's commitment to canvassing and political activism. There was consensus that they all could do some good together. Twitter, Reddit, and social media quickly exploded with memes and commentary about the endeavor.
Throw that friendship on. Our day is coming, brothers. Let's go! Watch as Destiny are helping push online politics into DC. If you're trashing on either of them right now, put their personal drama in danger. Log off. Stop living vicariously through other people. What a bittersweet. Seeing the brothers united again. Brother Ian is ontologically wholesome, friendly with his brothers.
But although streamers Cackles and Destiny were able to patch up their beef, Vosh seemed to entirely ignore the past. Following the event, Vosh got on his live stream and had some unfortunate things to say about Destiny.
What is he going to say? Yeah, this is the problem with me. I guess the problem is that his subject basically, I think they are like, if you bring someone out there, it's like that person, you mean the person who, and then they have like the manifesto. It's just like, all of them, ready. They're at like 7-Eleven. I pay you this, and they like type it again. Like, so I think like they have a very good memory for this. I would have to like invest more energy than I care to remember every month that happened. So I mean, it's a long list. You know, it would take some time for that, but it doesn't really matter. You know? That's like the energy black hole that I've warned about. Where it's like, debate is good and all, but there is like a vortex kind of, where if you overcommit to certain elements of the persistent, like online, like ultra online, like here's how.
Just as quickly as hope appeared for the two titans to come together again and rekindle their relationship, it disappeared. Destiny was disappointed with Vosh's reaction and made it clear that he didn't want to collaborate in an organization where he was being actively disparaged, thus dashing the hopes of the two joining forces and sending a pessimistic message to friendship believers all around the globe.
It's usually...
If you're looking for a more in-depth breakdown of the end of Hassan and Ethan Klein's friendship, you can watch my last video, How Hassan Piker Lies to You. But besides the end of their friendship and the end of their podcast, there's another controversy stemming from clips drawn from their podcast, and that is Hassan's position on Taiwan. As criticism encircled Hassan's coverage of recent news events, he had a debate with Ethan on their podcast Leftovers about the situation, and he ended up giving a pretty inflammatory take on geopolitics.
Social or civil liberties policies. I do not agree with that at all. So I don't live in China. I live in America. However, having said that, you can just go to Hong Kong and you can just go to every part of China pretty much and see for yourself. This is no longer like the North Korea style hermit kingdom where like no information comes out. Like we have
regardless,
we have a shit ton of Chinese people that live in America. And
Regardless, bro, it's not that
China.
They had rights. They don't have rights now. They lost a lot of rights. But whatever. I mean, you're. This is interesting that you're very soft. You're very soft-footed around the issue of China. You love China.
I think China.
If you love China so much, why don't you marry it?
Once again, I don't live there. I choose to live here because of the issues that you just brought up, which is...
Needless to say, this generated lots of disagreement amongst both his fan base, his peers, and the wider internet.
If you love China so much, why don't you marry it?
Once again, I don't live there. I choose to live here.
Like what? I have seen Hassan talk about issues off the cuff. Why is Hassan speaking as though like Xi Jinping is personally behind him with a gun to his head? Like what is this? Like I'm genuinely asking why. I've seen Hassan talk more off the cuff about a bunch of issues. Like why is he so careful? Is he being like paid or something? Does he think that he's going to break into like the Chinese market at some point? Well, I don't understand.
Austinox is most well known for being Hassan Piker's main editor, who over the course of his popularity's tenure has gotten himself into a lot of controversy. Some examples of his beef with larger creators include Moist Critical and even Kick alumni Trainwrecks TV, where Austinox was accused of spreading misinformation about his gambling sponsorships. His issues with XQC, where the streamer remarked to Hassan that his editor's large online presence, inseparability to his career, and his often bombastic nature could be damaging to the former's career. XQC also made comments to suggest that the relationship between the two was unhealthy because Hassan wasn't correcting the latter's behavior. It's difficult to say where Austinox's journey goes from here, and whether he'll find himself in more hot water with more streamers. But it seems safe to say that either way, it'll create amazing content for us all to enjoy. Ending off Tier 2, we have Sam Hyde, a controversial comedian and internet personality. He's known for his dark and often hilarious sketches, such as his work on their Adult Swim show, World Peace, which has been in the past criticized for its provocativeness and abrasiveness. Hassan Piker, on the other hand, is a progressive political commentator and Twitch streamer who's been frequently criticized for his track record on reporting breaking news. The feud between the two started in 2022, when Hyde made a public call out to Piker to fight him.
You got anyone you want to call out in the heavyweight division?
Oh, you know it, lad. You know that Hassan Piker? I'm coming to you in Los Angeles at your house.
Or in the ring?
No, in real life. I'm going to stalk him and become obsessed with him and wear his makeup and his dresses and use his skin as a coat like the ancient Irish did.
Well, that's your winner, Sam Hyde!
This clip took place after Hyde won his fight against Thompson, playing the exaggerated character of an Irishman named the Candyman the whole time.
Man ready. Talk to me about this fight, Sam, and what you're gonna do to this man on Saturday night.
Oh, aye, Donnig. Have you heard much Irish folklore?
I haven't heard a lot, but I'm sure you're gonna tell me.
When you were a wee lad growing up in Ireland, and you looked out and you saw the green grass and the blue sky, did they ever teach you any of the old songs from the old days?
They didn't, but go ahead and teach me one.
I'd love to hear one.
Well, I was going to anyway.
His challenge was mostly seen as incredibly funny throughout the internet, despite Piker being disturbed by the call-out.
Accept Sam Hyde's fight offer?
What? I don't, dude, no. Why are you talking to me about some dumbass weirdo Nazi? What's wrong with you? What's wrong? Explain yourself. What do you mean? You think it's funny, dude? You got some weird you got some weird deadbeat loser comedian who is completely lost all of its importance on the world by himself over, by giving Andrew Anglin $5,000 in Nazi defense fund. And you're gonna come to me and be like, it's so funny. Yeah, it's not funny, is it? Do you like that? Do you think it's funny?
I would like to see the fight between
Explain.
you two.
Yeah.
There's no explaining.
I don't want to be around these losers, and you should probably conduct yourself a little bit better.
Hi, can I take a Polaroid picture with you?
Whoop his I would never.
Starting off Tier 3, we have not only one of the most peculiar internet phenomena of all time, but also one of the most entertaining Destiny arcs in recent memory. From emerging figures like Andrew Tate, bizarre creators like Sneeko, even to the gathering places of these figures like the Whatever podcast, it's safe to say that Destiny had his work cut out for him journeying into this space. And it all began with the strange rise of a man named Andrew Tate. Destiny has had a lot of bizarre conversations in Red Pill spaces, especially on the Fresh and Fit podcast.
Destiny, am I your type?
I'd say no, probably not.
What the dude?
What's your type in terms of men?
Like if they're
liberal, progressive, you know, the they thems, you know.
Come on,
Like,
really?
appearance-wise.
Appearance-wise. Like if I was just like bleeding heart liberal.
What about Chase?
What about Chase?
Is Chase your type?
Would you
Visually.
Chase?
That'll be in the after show. We'll talk about
Visually.
Is that a yes?
I don't really have like a guy. I only date women.
Wait.
You
you're
on-
attracted
only
to men.
You
but-
smash dudes, but don't date them.
We'll go with that, okay?
Okay.
Is it off limits?
Well, I don't know how much you want
Are
to do
you a
erotic
bottom?
fan fiction here. For, like, if you want like details of my hookup experience with guys, we can do that if you want. I
You
mean,
gotta go
but
to
we're on
his OnlyFans to
YouTube,
get
so
that.
you know. I don't know.
I mean, we don't need certain details, but just getting
Destiny,
some
are you a
basic.
top or a bottom?
Thank you,
we don't-
Mary.
Yeah, we don't have
No,
to
no,
go on tape
okay,
Oh,
fair enough.
okay.
All right.
I don't think we have to get into that.
Are you sure that this is the only side of the table that's bi? I mean,
What?
you're intimately
I find it like-
familiar with
yeah, there's a lot of guys that are
French
really
descent.
What do you mean?
I don't know if he's a top or a bottom.
Oh,
like-
you know, just like curious, you know.
Am I your
Yeah.
type?
What-
Yeah,
Am
you're
I good?
bi-curious.
Can we do it later?
Hetero
It's
flexible.
like
I mean,
very
like,
interesting. You
yeah.
put on the wig and
Never
everything's
say
mad.
never say never.
You said it was a lot of
Never say
tension
never.
earlier
Just
as
keeping
well,
an open
you know?
mind.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
respect that.
But I mean, he already rejected me, so I kind of like.
I didn't reject you.
Oh.
I'm more like a personality. I'm like a
Fucking
sapiosexual,
go.
you know. If you impress me intellectually. Then.
Well, that's not going to happen because I spill over
Have
my
you
words.
tested your IQ, Brian?
I don't know.
You strike
you
me as a
don't know if you've
155
tested
guy
it.
for sure.
English is my second language, so my articulation's pretty poor. Oh shit! Thanks, man.
You'd think that with Destiny's credentials and history of debating, that bringing him onto their podcasts and streams would scare them. We know that they're not exactly adept at holding their own against him. But places like the Whatever Podcast and Fresh and Fit, who concern themselves with entertaining the audience, bring him on anyway. Why? Well, it's easy. Destiny gets to play the villain. The antithesis to everything they believe and stand for, with the rhetoric to convince the audience they're wrong too. His presence is not only incredibly intimidating to the panelists, but also liable to generate a mass amount of entertaining content. But, speaking of entertainment, the dynamic established in these spaces gets even more peculiar when you introduce a figure like Sneeko. Sneeko is a pretty controversial figure among the wider internet. From his clips argument with Moist Critical to his drama with larger political streamers like the aforementioned Destiny and Asan Piker, despite his innocent beginnings as a young commentary channel, cinematic content creator, and even guest star on Mr. Beast, in recent memory, he's become enamored with figures like Andrew Tate, diving deep into the red pill ideology. Despite this though, he was also able to meet Destiny, and the two ended up becoming somewhat friendly, meeting at each other's houses and having interesting conversations while Destiny offered opposing viewpoints, trying to pull him out of his ideas. But while this battle for Sneeko's soul was initially noble and optimistic, it wouldn't last long, and Destiny would lose the battle, dooming Sneeko to a lifetime of Rumble streams and controversial podcast appearances. The Red Pill arc introduced Destiny to lots of new audiences, and alongside competing panel shows like The Hippy Dippy and ad hoc conversations hosted by streamers like Chud Logic, Prime Kais is a streamer who hosted his own popular gathering place for political streamers. His streams were quite successful, with others like Destiny and Vosh attending, causing his channel to slowly rise in popularity as he established himself as a competent creator and panel host. But tragedy struck on August 18th, 2021, when Katarana, a producer for the stream, accused Prime Kais of sexually harassing her over several months.
As per the title, I no longer work for Prime Kais. I've had an issue with the way that my boss has treated me for a while. As per my general inability to process things of this nature, I usually wouldn't know how to deal with a situation like this. For a while, I felt like I just needed to suck it up. I've been involved with the Twitch politosphere for about 6 months now, with one of my only points of access to the community being through the occasional Hippy Dippy recruitment panel or the more frequent Prime Case panel. From the beginning of my introduction to Prime's community, his interactions with me essentially had always been romantic in nature, but completely one-sided. On my end, it was always an internal struggle to decide whether I got to keep my dignity in the situation and express my discomfort, or suck it up and grow as a streamer through him giving me a platform. This incentive only increased when I started to produce for him, and I was paid for my work. I thought this new working relationship would mean he would act more professionally, but it did not deter his inappropriate behavior at all. I tried to come forward earlier, as early as April to be precise. Yet when I reached out other creators in their chat, he found out that I was posting in their chats within 10 minutes of me doing so. I knew that if I tried back then, he had so much more resources and audience than I did, and thus could crush my channel before I even got the word out. Over the course of the months, Prime has said just absolutely wild things to me. Unfortunately for me, and fortunately for him, much of it was over Discord calls. He would make comments on my size and how much he liked my ass, and asked me to show it off to him. I've been told over and over again how gorgeous I am without reciprocating any of the same language. I was once so desperate to get away from his comments that I swallowed oral anesthetic in phone calls to get him to hang up. He's proclaimed to me that he will move to Europe for me, as I had planned at the time to go to the Netherlands. He's told me that he wants to sleep with me, even though I was not ever reciprocating any of his flirting or inappropriate comments. He even once told me that I have enough information to end his career, and when I asked, "Why do you keep doing and saying things that could get you in trouble?" he responded with, "I know what girls would and wouldn't talk. I guess I just look like one of the girls that would never talk."
This situation caused Dylan Burns to boot up a live stream with Katarana in person to talk about the situation and look at the logs. And while things initially seemed dark for the future of Prime's career, it quickly took a different turn when Destiny began to ask to come on stream, seeming skeptical of the narrative.
Let me know. Call me. Meh. Tell me if he ever mentions that I DM'd him. This whole thing reeks of streamer knocking off competition.
Wasn't correct. If you're looking for a more in-depth breakdown of the end of Hassan and Ethan Klein's friendship, you can watch my last video, How Hassan Piker Lies to You. But besides the end of their friendship and the end of their podcast, there's another controversy stemming from clips drawn from their podcast, and that is Hassan's position on Taiwan. As criticism encircled Hassan's coverage of recent news events, he had a debate with Ethan on their podcast Leftovers about the situation, and he ended up giving a pretty inflammatory take on geopolitics.
Social or civil liberties policies. I do not agree with that at all. That's why I don't live in China. I live in America. However, having said that, you can just go to Hong Kong, and you can just go to every part of China pretty much and see for yourself. This is no longer like the North Korea style hermit kingdom where like no information comes out. Like we have
regardless,
we have a shit ton of Chinese people that live in America. And
regardless, bro, it's not that
China.
They had rights. They don't have rights now. They lost a lot of rights. But whatever. I mean, you're. This is interesting that you're very soft. You're very soft-footed around the issue of China. You love China.
I think China.
If you love China so much, why don't you marry it?
Once again, I don't live there. I choose to live here because of the issues that you just brought up, which is...
Needless to say, this generated lots of disagreement amongst both his fan base, his peers, and the wider internet.
If you love China so much, why don't you marry it?
Once again, I don't live there. I choose to live here.
Like what? I have seen Hassan talk about issues off the cuff. Why is Hassan speaking as though like Xi Jinping is personally behind him with a gun to his head? Like what is this? Like I'm genuinely asking why. I've seen Hassan talk more off the cuff about a bunch of issues. Like why is he so careful? Is he being like paid or something? Does he think that he's going to break into like the Chinese market at some point? Well, I don't understand.
Austinox is most well known for being Hassan Piker's main editor, who over the course of his popularity's tenure has gotten himself into a lot of controversy. Some examples of his beef with larger creators include Moist Critical and even Kick Alumni Trainwrecks TV, where Austinox was accused of spreading misinformation about his gambling sponsorships. His issues with XQC, where the streamer remarked to Hassan that his editor's large online presence, inseparability to his career, and his often bombastic nature could be damaging to the former's career. XQC also made comments to suggest that the relationship between the two was unhealthy because Hassan wasn't correcting the latter's behavior. It's difficult to say where Ostinox's journey goes from here, and whether he'll find himself in more hot water with more streamers. But it seems safe to say that either way, it'll create amazing content for us all to enjoy. Ending off Tier 2, we have Sam Hyde, a controversial comedian and internet personality. He's known for his dark and often hilarious sketches, such as his work on their Adult Swim show, World Peace, which has been in the past criticized for its provocativeness and abrasiveness. Hassan Piker, on the other hand, is a progressive political commentator and Twitch streamer who's been frequently criticized for his track record on reporting breaking news. The feud between the two started in 2022, when Hyde made a public call out to Piker to fight him.
You got anyone you want to call out in the heavyweight division?
Oh, you know it, lad. You know that Hassan Piker. I'm coming to you in Los Angeles.
Brimstones. In the ring.
No,
Bottle of nectar.
Well, that's your winner, Sam Hyde.
This clip took place after Hyde won his fight against Thompson, playing the exaggerated character of an Irishman named the Candyman the whole time.
Ready. Talk to me about this fight, Sam, and what you're gonna do to this man on Saturday night.
Oh, aye, Donnick. Have you heard much Irish folklore?
I haven't heard a lot, but I'm sure you're gonna tell me.
When you were a wee lad growing up in Ireland, did they ever teach you any of the old songs how to collect?
They didn't, but go ahead and teach me one.
I'd love to hear one.
Well, I was going to anyway.
His challenge was mostly seen as incredibly funny throughout the internet, despite Piker being disturbed by the call-out.
Accept Sam Hyde's fight offer?
I don't, dude, no. Why are you talking to me about some dumbass weirdo Nazi? What's wrong with you? What's wrong? Explain yourself. What do you mean? You think it's funny, dude? You got some weird you got some weird deadbeat loser comedian who is completely lost all of his importance on the world by fucking himself over by giving Andrew Anglin $5,000 Nazi defense fund. And you're gonna come to me and be like, it's so funny. Yeah, it's not funny, is it? Do you like that? Do you think it's funny?
I would like to see the fight between you two.
Yeah. I don't want to be around these losers, so you should probably conduct yourself a little bit better. Whoop his. I would never.
Starting off Tier 3, we have not only one of the most peculiar internet phenomena of all time, but also one of the most entertaining Destiny arcs in recent memory. From emerging figures like Andrew Tate, bizarre creators like Sneeko, even to the gathering places of these figures like the Whatever podcast, it's safe to say that Destiny had his work cut out for him journeying into this space. And it all began with the strange rise of a man named Andrew Tate. Destiny has had a lot of bizarre conversations in Red Pill spaces, especially on the Fresh and Fit podcast.
Destiny, am I your type?
I'd say no.
What the dude?
What's your type in terms of men?
Like if they're
liberal, progressive,
Come on,
Like,
really?
appearance-wise.
Appearance-wise. Like if I was just like bleeding hard.
What about Chase?
What about it?
Chase your type?
Would you
Visually.
chase? That'll be in the after show. We'll talk about
Visually.
Is that a yes?
I only have like a guy. I only date women.
Wait. But you're attracted to men.
You
like-
smash dudes, but you don't date them.
Is it off? Is it off limits?
Well, I don't know how much I'm gonna
Are
do
you a
erotic
bottom?
fan fiction here. Like, if you want like details of my hookup experience, guys, we can do that if you want.
We gotta go to
but we're on
OnlyFans to
YouTube,
get
so
that.
you know, I don't know.
I mean, we don't need certain details, but I'm just getting
Destiny, are
some
you a
basic.
top or a bottom?
Thank you,
Yeah,
Mary.
yeah, we're not. We don't have
No,
to
no, no. Okay.
Oh,
fair enough.
okay.
All right.
I don't think we have to get into
Are you sure that this is the only side of the table that's bi? I mean,
What?
you're intimately
I find it like-
familiar with
yeah, there's a lot of guys that are
French
really
usage.
into
You
it.
don't know if he's the top or a bottom.
Oh, you know, just like curious, you know.
Am I your
Yeah.
type?
What-
Yeah, you're
Am I good?
bi-curious.
Can we do it later? It's like
I mean,
very
like,
interesting. You put on the wig and
never
everything.
say
matched.
never say never.
You said it was a lot of
Never say
tension
never.
earlier as
Keeping
well.
it open
You know?
mind. But I mean, he already rejected me, so I kind of. Oh.
I'm more like a personality. I'm like a sapiosexual.
go.
You know, you get expressed in the lecture.
Well, that's not going to happen. Because I still will my words.
You tested your IQ?
I don't know.
Right,
You don't know if English is my second language, so my articulation's pretty poor. Oh shit! Thank you.
You'd think that with Destiny's credentials and history of debating, that bringing him onto their podcasts and streams would scare them. We know that they're not exactly adept at holding their own against him. But places like the Whatever Podcast and Fresh and Fit, who concern themselves with entertaining the audience, bring him on anyway. Why? Well, it's easy. Destiny gets to play the villain. The antithesis to everything they believe and stand for, with the rhetoric to convince the audience they're wrong too. His presence is not only incredibly intimidating to the panelists, but also liable to generate a mass amount of entertaining content. But, speaking of entertainment, the dynamic established in these spaces gets even more peculiar when you introduce a figure like Sneeko. Sneeko is a pretty controversial figure among the wider internet. From his clips argument with Moist Critical to his drama with larger political streamers like the aforementioned Destiny and the Sand Piker, despite his innocent beginnings as a young commentary channel, cinematic content creator, and even guest star on Mr. Beast, in recent memory, he's become enamored with figures like Andrew Tate, diving deep into the red pill ideology. Despite this though, he was also able to meet Destiny, and the two ended up becoming somewhat friendly, meeting at each other's houses and having interesting conversations while Destiny offered opposing viewpoints, trying to pull him out of his ideas. But while this battle for Sneeko's soul was initially noble and optimistic, it wouldn't last long, and Destiny would lose the battle, dooming Sneeko to a lifetime of Rumble streams and controversial podcast appearances. The Red Pill arc introduced Destiny to lots of new audiences, and alongside competing panel shows like the Hippy Dippy and ad hoc conversations hosted by streamers like Chud Logic, Prime Kais is a streamer who hosted his own popular gathering place for political streamers. His streams were quite successful, with others like Destiny and Vosh attending, causing his channel to slowly rise in popularity as he established himself as a competent creator and panel host. But tragedy struck on August 18th, 2021, when Katarana, a producer for the stream, accused Prime K's of sexually harassing her over several months.
As per the title, I no longer work for Prime K's. I've had an issue with the way that my boss has treated me for a while. As per my general inability to process things of this nature, I usually wouldn't know how to deal with a situation like this. For a while, I felt like I just needed to suck it up. I've been involved with the Twitch politosphere for about 6 months now, with one of my only points of access to the community being through the occasional Hippy Dippy recruitment panel, or the more frequent Prime K's panel. From the beginning of my introduction to Prime's community, his interactions with me essentially had always been romantic in nature, but completely one-sided. On my end, it was always an internal struggle to decide whether I got to keep my dignity in the situation and express my discomfort, or suck it up and grow as a streamer through him giving me a platform. This incentive only increased when I started to produce for him, and I was paid for my work. I thought this new working relationship would mean he would act more professionally, but it did not deter his inappropriate behavior at all. I tried to come forward earlier, as early as April to be precise. Yet when I reached out to the other creators in their chat, he found out that I was posting in their chats within 10 minutes of me doing so. I knew that if I tried back then, he had so much more resources and audience than I did, and thus could crush my channel before I even got the word out. Over the course of the months, Prime has said just absolutely wild things to me. Unfortunately for me, and fortunately for him, much of it was over Discord calls. He would make comments on my thighs and how much he liked my ass, and asked me to show it off to him. I've been told over and over again how gorgeous I am without reciprocating any of the same language. I was once so desperate to get away from his comments that I swallowed oral anesthetic in phone calls to get him to hang up. He's proclaimed to me that he will move to Europe for me, as I had planned at the time to go to the Netherlands. He's told me that he wants to sleep with me, even though I was not ever reciprocating any of his flirting or inappropriate comments. He even once told me that I have enough information to end his career, and when I asked, why do you keep doing and saying things that could get you in trouble, he responded with, I know what girls would and wouldn't talk. I guess I just look like one of the girls that would never talk.
This situation caused Dylan Burns to boot up a live stream with Katarana in person to talk about the situation and look at the logs. And while things initially seemed dark for the future of Prime's career, it quickly took a different turn when Destiny began to ask to come on stream, seeming skeptical of the narrative.
Let me know. Call me. Meh. Tell me if he ever mentions that I DM'd him. This whole thing reeks of streamer knocking off competition. Lamau. He knows. He's full of shit. 100,000%. Lamau. Dylan. Playing that vicious Game of Thrones. Knocking out the competition, one content creator at a time. Vicious businessman, congratulations.
New information would reveal that Katarana was reciprocating Prime's advances, even asking him to call her in the early hours of the morning, almost like a romantic alarm clock, amongst other examples of Katarana not making it clear to Prime that she wasn't interested, or in some cases, indicating the opposite. After the stream, Dylan Burns issued a public apology to Prime for allowing himself to be misled, and the two patched up their friendship. Prime returned to panel hosting to a large audience waiting to congratulate him and welcome him back. Keffals is a pretty well-known streamer who's been covered in multiple different media outlets for her battle against the website Kiwi Farms, and also known for her statements about Destiny, which have been described as slanderous. Her drama with Destiny is so long and so convoluted and difficult to explain that it only really deserves its own video. Instead, I'd like to cover how Clara started off as a darling of the heavy left-leaning Twitter communities, and how now she's seen incredibly negatively, with it all starting with one controversial livestream.
Are we spreading misinfo? Yeah, I'm doing gay ops on Tenderqueers by encouraging my I'm encouraging my followers to make pick crew accounts and infiltrate Tenderqueer Twitter. Because once they catch wind of the plan that we're using pick crews to infiltrate Tenderqueer Twitter, they're going to all become incredibly suspicious of pick crews and they will eat each other alive. Does it matter which pick crew? No, just use a random one. But the more diverse, the better. Like, make it like a black butch lesbian with like, I don't know.
Communities on Twitter quickly lashed out at her, while tabloid-like outlets like the Mary Sue responded and made their views on Keffals quite clear. Although she maintains a stable viewership and fanbase across the internet, she's now seen much more negatively in the communities she used to frequent, and she now presents herself much more edgily than she used to. It's nigh impossible to figure out where Keffals is going to end up in the future, but if the past is any good indicator, it'll certainly be somewhere just as controversial as it is entertaining. Ending off Tier 3, we have Hassan versus Too Mad. Too Mad, despite his recent controversies, is a semi-popular YouTuber known for his Zoom trolling videos and his bombastic style of humor. However, one of his more recent dramas was his back and forth with political streamer and pundit Hassan Piker over COVID-19 misinformation.
So Too Mad, who is known for memeing usually, wrote this in response, and I thought, this is a bit, right? Like, because it's Too Mad. At first I thought it was a meme, and so I DM'd him like, are you okay? Like,
I just hit it with like a little bit of facts, and I wake up.
Oh, he's going. I know you want to say you were just pretending, but we all know government balances decisions for economy all the time, Hassan. But you imply a compromised government by corporations, so to be honest, like claps you up a bit. Filled with the Trump pandemic misinformation for a week, yes, unlocked.
Destiny retweeted one of Two Man's responses during the exchange, causing Hassan to lash out and reference the streamer.
Okay, now I'm gonna go fucking balls to the wall. This is 1000% for clout. Suck my cock, you irrelevant bitch. Okay, straight up that is bait. Straight up that is fucking clout. That 1000% is for fucking clout. No, he absolutely got fucking boosted, and now he's just fucking trolling, and now he is 100% doing this for fucking clout. Okay, we're done. Just come on the stream, jackass. Oh, he's just straight up trying to get fucking Destiny on here. Yeah, he can suck my dick.
This nigga will not touch Destiny. He's scared of Destiny. Destiny, little dude, 5 foot. No, I wouldn't even touch him. We'll talk to actual epidemiologists, no experts. Not even Two Man, bro.
Destiny later ended up reacting to Two Mad's video on the whole situation, and ended up finding it pretty funny, as did most of his viewers.
Big one, huh?
Tier 4. Through the last few years, we've seen the online political space shift sharply from being mostly dominated by controversial right-wing figures to being dominated by left-wing debaters. And while some figures used this transition to shift their brand in new and exciting directions, some fell into irrelevance. And a perfect example of this is British internet troll and political provocateur Milo Yiannopoulos. Rising to fame as a writer for Breitbart News and a prominent figure in the Gamergate movement back in 2016, there was a time when Yiannopoulos was on the top of the world, but those days are now long gone. Accused of allegedly supporting adult relationships with children, and now in an on-again, off-again partnership with Kanye West as his director of political operations, he's eager to get back into the political scene, and choosing his first target as an online video gamer and streamer, Destiny, must have seemed like a pretty easy decision. But little did Milo know, he'd made a fatal miscalculation.
Have problems right now, like I mentioned earlier. Problem combat. I think we need to do it by having honest conversations about what we can do. Not going to talk about change back hundreds or thousands of years to what society used to look like before there was Gucci and
I could live without both. If it meant that you let me decide somewhere, parents might exactly what would have happened in civilization.
I would have left the gays there before people like me.
Well, I don't think you can tell when it pops out whether it's going to like. Maybe if it's your kid, but I'm sure that's the case.
You know all about kids liking, huh? Isn't that?
Would I? Would I? Would I? Tell us more about that. Would I? Because that's a pretty big allegation. Would I?
Would you what?
Would I know about that?
Seems like it. Isn't that what you got cancelled for?
No, I got cancelled for talking about the fact that I was a victim of clerical sexual abuse. I was...
So about, like, little boys liking right?
Oh, I see. Okay, well, yeah, I mean...
You got there eventually. It's okay. I can tell you're coming down right now, but I'll walk you through the rest of my jokes if you need me to.
No, fair enough. Okay, you bring it. Fine. Shame Father Michael's daddy would have liked that. I think if, I don't know that it makes me an expert on kids like
bias Fidel.
If you want some comedy lessons afterwards, I'm happy to give it. What was the question? Sorry, I was
Dead must have it pretty good.
Anime debaters is for sure a very different topic to what we've discussed so far, but I believe, based on the merit of this video, that they deserve their own special mention. Anime is a Japanese term typically referring to animated cartoons or animated shows from in or outside Japan. But where people in Twitch politics treat hot-button issues like the presidential election or gender issues with levity, these traveling anime debaters treat matchups like Goku versus Reinhardt with a level of seriousness that they arguably don't deserve, a practice that they call power scaling. Within this micro-community, there are multiple controversies and exposés, like Seth the Programmer for instance. So much that I don't think it could fit in this video alone, but it represents an interesting microcosm of what we'll continue to talk about today, a fractured community surviving by the skin of its teeth, as diverse as a nation and as doomed as a plane with no wings. In November of 2019, Hassan was accused of mistreating a freelance video editor named Blake. Blake alleged that Hassan had used him to edit multiple videos for him without paying him for his work. He also claimed that Hassan had misled him about the possibility of getting a full-time editing position with him. Blake provided screenshots of their Discord conversations that seemed to show Hassan encouraging Blake to continue editing videos for him, and even told him he was doing a good job. The situation escalated when Blake went public with his allegations on Reddit. He posted a lengthy thread detailing his experiences with Hassan, and shared the screenshots of their conversations. This led to a lot of backlash against Hassan, with many people criticizing him for his handling of the situation. Hassan responded to the allegations by saying he had never agreed to pay Blake for his work, and that he had only gotten him to edit videos for his Hasanabi Edits channel, which is not as popular as his main channel. He also said that he had been looking for a full-time editor who could make longer breakdown videos, which Blake wasn't able to do. In response to the growing backlash, Hassan offered to compensate Blake for his work. He also said that he would no longer accept free content from anyone unless he was specifically asked to do so.
Videos they edit all the time. If they ask for compensation, I pay them. Same with Emo. This person never asked for compensation. Really? Apparently, he did ask if I was still looking for a full-time editor, which I didn't even see, so he just decided to post this here. He didn't reach out to my mods or send me another message. He just left my server, rendering me unable to contact him, and then posted this. Now, as far as what to do next, I asked to take down his videos. He said he doesn't want me to. If he wants some money for it, I'll pay him too. I don't give a fuck about him trying to hurt my rep. He's entitled to compensation for his labor since he obviously has a different opinion about our relationship. And going forward, I don't want people to send me free edits or memes or highlights unless I tell you, yeah, I really like this, if we work together, I would love to pay you. I don't even want to maintain my shitty-ass YouTube channel. It sucks. It makes $0 a month. It's literally not worth the headache.
The Destiny Mizkif NFT situation refers to one of the most obscure but genuinely interesting dramas or controversies in recent memory, from cease and desists to Destiny's attempt to make sense of the situation to one of the worst business faux pas of all time. It's a pretty wild situation. So, let's just say it all starts on the stream of one of the most popular Twitch creators of all time, Mizkif. The situation begins when a chatter alerts Mizkif that his clips are being sold as NFTs on a website called myclips.tv, causing understandable concern to the streamer.
People are selling your clips as NFTs, by the way. Who? Stop. Where? You being serious? My clips. My money. Me? Oh, you son of a bitch. These guys are using my clips and just selling them. This one's sold for $679. I didn't say you could do that. Hold on. $679.90. This dude sold a... What is
How about you lick my eardrum with your tongue, and then you put your asshole right next to my ear and fart directly into my ear canal, please?
Dude, you got a deal for $679. Collect and own live stream only. Support your favorite creators on the official platform that turns Twitch clips into NFTs. Suck my dick. Where's my money? Where's my money? No, you are not getting my clips without my money. Wait, these are clips from today. Wait, these are. How do I collect this Title 1 clip 21 hours ago?
Mizgift decides to contact the creator of the site, who turns out to be an ex-Twitch employee, leading to a pretty bizarre conversation.
I want to show my screen without leaking things. I am willing to give a share of the company to me. So we have negotiated. You guys gotta be in all my OTK meetings from now on, okay? He is willing to give me a share of the company.
Got you, Bullman.
And also, I can show you exactly how to withdraw money. It's how Ethereum works. Also, accept my $300 bid, please. Thanks. What is going on? What questions do we want to ask this man, Kevin? What questions do we want to ask him right now? What percent do I get? This is very, very interesting. Let me ask him a basic question. Are you allowed to use other creators' clips and make money from them? Okay, this guy just got mad and said in caps, do you want my money? I am so confused. I feel like this is like one tap profile or something. Something's weird here. Let's see. All in caps, he said, do you want my money? This is very interesting.
Mizgift starts to get pretty confused and offers Kevin, the website developer, the opportunity to appear on stream and explain himself, also inviting Destiny to help make sense of the whole situation.
He probably still hasn't muted me.
Yo.
Yo, what's up, dude? So what's your name?
Kevin.
Kevin, what's up?
I can explain. I think the website was not clear about what's going on. So
Yes.
It seems like we're stealing clips.
Destiny.
Oh, sorry, my microphone. Okay, what's going on?
Okay, so pretty much there's this website called myclips.tv, which they are making money off of clips of us and content creators, and we aren't seeing any of it, and I'm very confused on what's going on.
Yo, so I can explain how it works, but essentially it's an Ethereum smart contract where we coded it so that when someone buys a clip, part of the portion of the payment goes to your Ethereum or goes to your Twitch ID on Ethereum, so you can withdraw afterwards.
Wait, wait, are you like a developer for the project?
Yeah.
Do you have to like sign in to claim these IDs basically? So I'm guessing when you sign in with Twitch, it does. Yeah, so it does like a Twitch OAuth, and then it registers your account, and then it sees what
Yeah, exactly. And then the thing with the clip being sold, I just wanted to experiment and generate some publicity, which backfired a little bit, but I bought some clips for myself, so all the money that I bought went to streamers, and we didn't really like steal anything.
Yeah, but how does it go to streamers if I don't even know about this website?
Well, if you never hear about it, then you don't. However, my guess is to stand the up and up, you guys aren't allowed, well, I don't know how official you guys are, but you probably shouldn't be allowed to withdraw any funds or cash out any, you're paying this in Ethereum?
Yeah, so everything is based on the smart contract, so we can't really take money from the streamers. Only a streamer who signs in can withdraw.
Well, that might be true theoretically, but I'm sure there must be some way where you could do that now.
No, we coded it so that you can't do that.
Okay, yeah, but like this isn't an open source project, so we just kind of have to take your word for it on that, right?
Oh, I can show you the smart contract code.
Can you explain how it would be impossible for you to like change like some database entry on the back end that would give you access to those smart contracts?
So that might be one way, but it's very convoluted. But I can explain how the full architecture works. Maybe it's too complicated on the stream, but I can explain everything.
Yeah, I'm curious. Give us like the 2-second version, or as simple as you can.
Essentially, we verify that you're the right streamer and the right person, and then we allow you to connect the Ethereum wallet to your Twitch account. And then once you connect that wallet to the account, you can start withdrawing money.
Well, yeah, but that's the easy part. The question is, I'm going to be honest, I don't know much about the Ethereum contract system, but my question is, who's to say that in your site it's not written so that those contracts couldn't be assigned to a different account that could theoretically withdraw them? Or does Ethereum have like some built-in protection that makes it so that's impossible?
But just when things seems to be evening out, things get a little more convoluted when a disgruntled streamer whose clips were sold on the site, Yabe, joins the stream, leading to a heated confrontation.
Yabe? Hey.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Kevin.
I'm sorry for blocking you.
You're sorry for blocking. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. I don't know why you blocked me. I guess it was the lack of positive vibes that I was putting out.
No, it was like kind of a, yeah, it wasn't like good news to block me, I guess, but.
Yeah, not
sorry.
enough positive vibes.
To be fair, you're pretty pushy and negative there.
I'm pushy and negative because you're selling something in my name that I didn't give you permission
No, we weren't
to.
selling, so the UI was incorrect, so I kept trying to tell you that we weren't
The
selling
button
like this.
tells me to buy. The button under my clips is buy.
Yeah, but it's
B-U-Y.
actually
I don't know what else you want me to believe that means.
It actually should have been bid, not buy.
But it's buy.
So is this website not ready yet or something?
Wait, hold on,
I mean-
Kevin. Kevin, do you understand what the confusion is?
Yeah, I do.
Well, wait.
It
What do
was
you
like
think?
some-
Wait. What do you think the confusion is? Can you tell me?
So I think like when someone goes on a site and they see all these clips listed, which we just really got from the API, and then they see the buy button on the bottom where we really just like took clips from the Twitch API and put a bid button on it, allow anyone to bid on a clip.
You're selling a dead man's property.
Well,
No,
yeah.
so-
So the problem is people don't understand generally what an NFT is. This is still like a pretty fringe, esoteric idea, and the appearance that people are getting is that you're actually selling the intellectual property of their clips, or that you're like directly profiting off of like the selling of that clip. So like theoretically, like, let's say somebody were to do like a grand painting and they were to try to sell this and they only got like $50 for it. Let's say you took a picture of it, you sold the NFT hash of that picture for like $20,000. The person that owns the painting is going to be like, what the fuck? Like, you just sold my painting. Like, what the, even though you didn't really, you sold a hash of it, but it still feels that way. That's how most people are going to view it, right?
Yeah.
After this, things begin to draw to a close when Ms. Kiff's lawyer, video game attorney, joins the call to speak to everyone.
Hey, so I'm an attorney for Miz and others, but I was also Byron's. I have a very deep understanding of the NFT space. I have a very deep understanding of copyright law. Everything you're saying is not accurate. There's years and hundreds of years of basic copyright law here. NFTs have changed a lot of ways technology works, a lot of ways you can track these things. Doesn't change basic copyright law. What you're doing here is so not okay.
Who is Xander Hall? Xander Hall is a decently contentious figure within the Twitch politics community, but not for the reasons you'd expect. It's difficult to explain who Alexander Haley is without going back to his roots in a little-known Minecraft server called 2B2T. Xander Hall's most popular video, and what he's most known for, is a video detailing how he fell into what he calls the alt-right pipeline. He talks of being led from mainstream figures like Ben Shapiro to more extreme individuals like Steven Crowder. But when he broke out, seeing the repugnant behavior of his peers, he swung his pendulum all the way back in the opposite direction and began streaming online under the name Pig Puncher. On his Pig Puncher account, he would mostly make videos covering political arguments, debates, hot-button issues, and much, much more. But when he uploaded his Pipeline video, rebranded to Xander Hall, and began streaming outside of his more popular peers' time slots, he began to slowly grow, which led to some interesting debates in the sphere.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, at that point, I think it'd probably be fine. I mean, yeah, if they were, well, obviously I don't support it for animals, but I mean, if it turned out their human meat was really good, had no health problems, and I was like, yeah, I want some of that human meat, then yeah, maybe.
Okay, if we agree on that what Trump did was deliberate, he was deserving of being banned, and what Colin Kaepernick did was probably something that Twitch could, like, logically ban him for breaking TOS, then I don't think we disagree, right?
We disagree on that, and you know we do because you're being inconsistent. But I'm trying to move on here. Overall,
yeah, hold on. Is the
It's
meme
openings,
of
Roby.
the Republican? Like,
You're idiot, Zan. Take it down. You're idiot. Take it down.
Zan.
think it's too
Dan, you need to take that down.
Alright.
This is the person who debated us.
Like in my state capital in South Carolina.
Don't think the Confederate flag being in a meme
Xander Hall.
about
Mute.
Oh, I want to
Wait, I am
rematch
muted.
now.
No,
You're
we
not.
can. Well, how did I say that
Hear
then?
you.
Why did I say that? Xander Hall? If I can hear you.
Go back to
Game
coping
machine.
though. That was pretty fun to watch.
Game machine.
Okay, so
Okay, well, what does this mean on a larger scale? Because if it just means they have the same rights as everyone else, then trans rights, my dudes.
Alright.
Can you say white rights, Xander Hall? Do white people have rights?
I love white people, okay? I love white people. White rights, of course. I think everybody deserves rights.
All right, there you go. That's good. I'm glad we agree. Look at this. This ended up being a really lovely agreement with just some friendly spats here and there.
It's sad to say that people weren't taking him very seriously in the space, and off the back of a few embarrassing clips, he ended up showing up less and less on his peers' live streams, and spent more time with his own audience. To this day, he maintains a fairly insular but consistent viewer base and audience. It's difficult to say where Haley is going from here, but if you prefer to identify with optimism, some could say he still has the potential, or the opportunity, to lift himself up to the great heights most other creators could only dream of. Ending off Tier 4, Demon Mama is a decently infamous figure in online spaces, and probably for good reason. She's been criticized in the past for her far left of center beliefs, and her aggressive rhetoric.
Let's start with the olive branch. Ready? I think
Sure, yeah.
I think we both want to improve education, right? And I would be in favor of things like say like no homework, better training for teachers, smaller class sizes, like more options, like not just like the memorization box like some people in chat have like said. I think there's a lot of ways of currently fixing education, but I think where we differ is that I still believe in mandates for some flavor of education, one of these types.
Well, yeah, because we have it appears we have very different sort of perceptions on how the state should be involved in these sort of things.
Okay, so give me.
And I have a problem with a state demanding that children have to go to a school, especially a school system that's deeply, deeply flawed.
So unless the school is quick question: would you be okay with mandates if school was perfect?
5 minutes later.
This entire conversation
has
been you. Excuse me, I'm not even. Hans,
I'll give
are you for real?
I'll give that to you.
I'm done. Hans, I literally.
I think what I said was about like whether
Hans,
or not you would stop.
Are you for real?
But then you asked. But then I asked,
Hans,
would you stop
are
other
you for real
people's
right
kids
now?
from doing this? It's
Hans,
a
is this really?
Let's not even talk
Wait,
about
is this
institutionalizing. Let's
Hans,
just talk about stopping like the roadblocks.
Let's say that somebody makes a transphobic comment towards a trans person online, and somebody else retweets that transphobic comment. Do you think that that person that retweeted it bears any responsibility for what happens to the person?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, probably. I would
So
argue that's the
somebody
case.
clips a video explicitly trying to show my take in the worst frame possible, and is involved in the community that's saying they're trying to get me departnered and they want to report my shit, and somebody would amplify that tweet, but
Do you
that
even
person
have
doesn't have
evidence
any
of that?
responsibility
Wait,
for
but
that.
here's the thing. This is where we always just go back to: do you have the evidence? Do you even have the evidence that Conyer, who originally posted the tweet, and I agree, clip chimping is kind of like.
I love the standard of evidence. Like, I need to see a video footage from inside the house. where
Yes,
they literally bring up
yes,
the name
because
frame.
yes, the burden of evidence is on you, who's alleging a conspiracy. Obviously, you know this.
I mean, like, there are Discord logs that leak from their community where they talk
Sure.
about reporting me. There's the fact that
Well,
the person like clipped. I love how in order for me to prove that there was like some attempt to get me departnered or
Wait,
banned from these
no,
platforms.
I
provide
know
all
there
this
was
amount
no,
of
no, no,
evidence,
no, no,
but
no.
for
Wait,
me,
wait, please,
I'm
wait.
just
Hold on,
because
hold
I
on,
utterly was
Destiny.
mentally ill, which other
Destiny.
people apparently have in the
Please,
past
Jesus
used to
Christ.
disparage trans people. I love
Destiny.
that the standard of evidence is so much higher on my end. than it is on their end.
But after a litany of hard-to-watch conversations, Demon Mama decided to talk to a mostly respectful small political streamer named Descrub King on gender issues. And when her incredulous rhetoric didn't steal her the win, Destiny invited her on his stream to give her a taste of her own medicine.
Hey, hello?
Hello. How you doing?
Dude, I'm sorry. This conversation, you're so desperate to like shoehorn. This guy is like the nicest guy in the world. He's been like super chill the whole conversation, and you were like so thirsty to shoehorn him into being an incel. Why?
Wait, what? Wait, is that your like unironic read of the conversation?
That is like
Destiny?
the easiest read of the
Dude,
world.
okay.
You should go back.
Wait,
Wait,
let me
no, wait, hold on. I have to leave soon, so I don't have time for you to like ramble on to your
Oh,
dipshit
come
points.
on.
Okay?
Wait.
No.
I just came on to your show.
Yeah, that's great. I know, but I'm just telling you.
I just watched you
So I'm just
sleep on
telling you.
cam while
I'm just
watch
telling
my
you. I'm just
content.
telling
You
you.
let me talk.
I'm just telling. I didn't sleep on cam. I talked for more than you both did combined for the conversation. Okay.
No, you didn't.
You're really
You
great at
watched
doing
it,
like
bro.
all of the little like clown symbols to show like how desperately you're not owned.
Oh,
But
are you
literally
really this
all of
mad
us
too?
like listen through.
Oh
I'm
my
not.
God,
I'm
you're
not.
so sensitive.
The only person
Destiny.
you came on to my show and you cried for 3 hours about me bullying people on Twitter, and you're gonna pretend that I'm the mad one.
Dude,
when
you're
you,
still
when you
mad
play,
about that?
No
Wait,
one.
you know that everyone thinks you got blown out.
You know
on
that when you
right?
keep
Like,
saying you're
everyone
mad
who's not
over
a
and over and
sucker
over
gets
again,
content.
all you do is sound mad, right? When you scream
Wait,
over and over
you-
again, are you
wait.
mad? Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you mad?
wait,
Are
do
you
you
mad?
think-
Are you mad?
wait, wait.
Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you mad? You know that just makes you sound really mad, right?
Destiny.
You know that every
Hold on,
time you
hold
make one of these dumb faces, you're like,
Destiny,
"What?
hey, Destiny,
What?
hey,
What?"
Destiny,
like
hey,
you're
Destiny,
literally
hold
the
on.
comic
Hey, buddy,
of you're the Wojak
buddy.
guy who's like, I'm not
Holy
mad,
shit.
you're mad, okay? So
Holy
anyway,
shit,
my
are you
original
okay?
point. Wait, how many of these faces do you have memorized for stream?
Wait.
Wait,
Oh, I
wait.
forgot.
Wait,
I'm
wait,
so
wait, hold on,
sorry.
let me do it. What? What?
Are you all right?
Wait,
Like,
are you still
holy
mad?
shit. Okay, first.
Wait,
of all,
wait, hold on, wait. What?
Dude,
What?
Hey, listen. Hey, Destiny, this is great memes. I don't actually know what's wrong with you at the moment.
Wait.
like, You actually seem unhinged.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this
but
conversation,
secondly-
the entire time, the entire
I didn't
time,
even get to say hi, Destiny.
please, I don't want to say hi to you. You're a loser. I don't want to say hi to you. I'm not calling you to say hi to you, okay? I'm just calling you.
You're so mad, dude. This is actually hilarious.
Wait, are you mad? What?
Wait, I think
What?
you've lost the ability. I think
What? I think you've lost the ability to make any
Hold on a second.
arguments.
I
Have you
think that
lost
you've
the ability?
to
Have
see
you
yourself
lost the ability
as
to
anything
be a?
other, like,
Have you
outside of
lost the
yourself.
ability? Like, I can't believe you actually can't do it. You
Wait,
actually
you're
can't
not
do
on
it.
cam, by the way.
You've
I just
lo-
wanna
have
let
you
know
lost
this
the
entire
ability
time-
to actually can't do it? Are you mad?
Oh,
What?
This is gonna be beautiful.
What?
Listen, Destiny.
What?
You're not on cam. I don't know if you want to turn on your cam so you.
No,
can
not
actually
really.
be on-
Because this is like a 2-minute
Oh,
conversation. Okay. Okay.
I
So
see.
backing up before all the theatrics. Okay.
Wait, what do you mean your theatrics? You screaming about me and doing wait a minute? Like this is literally like this is one of the most hilariously mad interactions I've ever had with somebody. Let alone
What?
with, like a professional screamer. Yeah, literally. I
What?
walked in here, you immediately started screaming. It's hilarious. You are so it's like I didn't know it was possible for a streamer who gets like 100 average views to have a derangement syndrome about them. But that is you
What?
right now, 100%.
What?
100%.
What? What? Okay. So anyway,
Good? It
thank you.
depends,
I'm
because-
so happy
wait,
that you
wait,
walked back every single argument that you gave. You are a worthless piece of shit. Have a wonderful night. All right. Done with that. Okay.
Tier 5. Jack Allison is an interesting person. For today, I'm gonna count up Jack's best hits, but first, an introduction. Ex-Jimmy Kimmel writer and podcaster Jack Allison is well known for his interesting interactions with the streamer Destiny, who he's had multiple interesting debates with in the past.
Hi there.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
What's going on? How are you?
I'm great.
Jason enters 6 races. Biking, canoeing, horseback riding, ice skating, running, and swimming. He places between 1st and 5th in each. 2 places are consecutive. Only if the place numbers are consecutive. Jason's places in canoeing and running are consecutive. He places in ice skating and his places in ice skating and swimming are consecutive. He places higher in biking and horseback riding. He places higher in canoeing than in running. Have you kept up?
Oof, you were that guy in school that was really nervous when the teacher was looking around to ask people who was going to read the next paragraph, huh? I'm really sorry. I'm glad that you're like getting over that fear now by trying to read stuff to be on stream, but like, what's up? What do you want
I
to
don't really know. I don't really like understand like what that own was or what that kind of, I know that you guys like, I know that your fans are mostly in high school and so that you like to do that thing where you're like, you're that guy in school or whatever. But I mean, you're 31 years old. I mean, like,
32.
Are you talking about like your girlfriend's time in high school or something like that? I mean, like, you haven't been in high school for a long time.
I still remember high school. I don't know why I would remember my girlfriend's time in high school more than my time in high school. But
How old was your girlfriend when your son was born?
How old was my girlfriend when my son was born? Which, the girlfriend that I had the son with, or a different girlfriend?
No, that you are currently dating. How old was she when
Why
your
would I
son
care
born?
how old a girl I'm dating
I'm just
now
asking a
is?
factual fact. I'm just asking like literally a factual
Yeah,
fact.
I'm just trying
Like,
to understand
what-
the relevance.
how
Like,
old
that's
was
such a
your son?
weird way
No,
to
just
evaluate.
how old
like,
was your
are
girlfriend
you having
when your son
fantasies
was
about like
born?
my son hooking up with my girlfriend or something? or
No,
is there like some
literally,
weird
I'm not.
shit?
I'm literally not.
It's like
No,
a
no, no,
very,
I'm just
very,
trying-
very
I'm just
strange
trying
question
to
to ask.
determine how old your
Like,
girlfriend was when you had
is
your
this something that
first
you
child.
think about a lot?
No, but
Does
how
this
old
keep you
was
up
she
at
when,
night?
when you had your first
I
child?
don't know. I
your
haven't found it
girlfriend?
necessary to do the math on that. I try not to
So how
compare
old's
that
your son?
child
How
of
old's your
my.
son?
I
How
don't
old's
know
your
if I'm.
son?
I don't. You
11.
are very interested.
Do you know your son's age?
I do, but I don't feel comfortable sharing
It's
with you.
11,
I don't-
right?
It's not. I'm not
So
sure.
your girlfriend would have been 9, right?
I'm not
when
sure where
your
you
son was
got
born?
that information from.
Your girlfriend would have been 9 years old when your son was born.
Oh
Is that
my
correct?
god, are you doing the pedo projection thing right now? Do you think about this
No,
a
I'm
lot?
just saying. I'm just saying that your girlfriend was 9 years old when your son was born.
So you don't have the numbers right at all, but let's say that's true. What does that matter?
What are the numbers then?
Well, no, I'm curious. Why does that even matter?
Well,
Why did
well, I
you
mean,
vote
they're-
for
well,
Trump in
thank you for what?
2016?
I didn't vote for Trump in 2016.
You did vote for Trump in 2016. This was revealed to me by
Did you hear
somebody
that
close
from
to you.
Jonathan Daniel Brown? Did you hear that
Oh,
from
are you?
Jonathan
So are
Daniel
you? Are
Brown?
you? Are you
like,
lying about this now?
No, I'm not lying about this. Jonathan Daniel Brown's a liar.
Really?
Jonathan
He's
Daniel
lying.
Brown-
You didn't
Yes.
pose together on the set of Jimmy Kimmel with a picture with Trump or anything
No,
like
I
that?
never did actually. I
Never
didn't
any
pose
of
for a
that.
picture. No, I don't. Never any of that.
Gotcha. Okay. Is
And
it
I
true
know
that
who
you
you're
blew?
talking
Wait,
to.
wait. Is it true that you blew
No, I
hundreds
know
of
who- I
thousands
know
of
who you're
dollars?
talking to,
Wait, wait. Is
and
it
I
true that
know
you
who-
blew
and I
hundreds
know-
of? Wait,
and
wait.
I
I just want
know-
to. I'm
and I
just
know who
asking
you're
factual
talking to.
questions.
No, no,
Okay.
I would like.
I
to
just want to
you
ask.
questions
I just want to
because
ask factual
I know that
factual
you're talking-
questions.
I know that you're talking to Jonathan Daniel
Is it true
Brown,
that you actually blew
who left
hundreds
the
of
podcast-
thousands of
who
dollars
left
on
the
Bitcoin?
podcast
Did
because
you
he-
actually do that? Hundreds of
Did I
thousands of
make-
dollars on
Did I
Bitcoin.
make hundreds of thousands of dollars on Bitcoin?
Did you blow hundreds of thousands of dollars on Bitcoin?
No, I made $100,000 on
Really?
Bitcoin.
Why did you downsize from a large house in the Hollywood Hills to an apartment that you trashed immediately after moving in?
Do you think I trashed my apartment immediately after moving
Why
in?
did you
What
have
are
to downsize if you made so much money on Bitcoin?
Oh, I'll tell you what, because I was making
Uh-huh.
$250,000 a year at Jimmy Kimmel, and then I
Wow.
quit that job. I quit that job after
For
making
mental
$250,000
health
a
reasons,
year.
right? 'Cause
I did
everybody
know-
was bullying
yeah,
you
I did
about it?
actually.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, I had a mental health day.
Oh, just
and
one?
then
Just one
nearly-
mental health
and then
day? Because it
nearly
kind
a
of seems like
year-
your life
yeah,
is
well,
just a string of mental health days, but go ahead.
It kind of sounds like you're big mad and like,
You
going
think
really
I'm
and
the
just
one that
insulting
sounds
me
big mad right
personally.
now?
No,
Wait,
no,
you're mad
what
that
I
I'm
wanna
attacking
do-
you personally while you're obsessing over the
what I-
age of my girlfriend and my son. You don't think that's a bit weird?
His strangest behavior, however, stems from the aftermath of Destiny's canvassing operations. After Destiny took a step back from his canvassing in Omaha, Jack sent Destiny an email to gloat about the situation, before masquerading as a fake journalist from WOWT, a news station in Omaha.
Hello, Steven. Is it okay if I call you that? I'm trying to get to the bottom of everything surrounding Mark Gudgel and your omni-liberal movement and the fallout this week. Right now, I'm just in the information gathering phase, but hopefully enough coalesces that I can make this a piece. Hoping for a quick reply, as this might be a tight turnaround. I read the Gateway piece as well as the response you posted to Reddit. I've got a few outstanding questions which perhaps you can answer for me, and I might have a few follow-ups as well.
Brandon, flexes his prior media training and asks me what appears to be several thoughtful questions regarding my canvassing experiment in Omaha. I do my best to respond in good faith, but little did I know, it was all a ruse.
Thanks for getting back to me, Steven. I have just a couple of follow-up questions. Are you aware that asking a reporter for something to be off the record and not getting an agreement doesn't mean that it's off the record? Anyway, you're a really stupid guy. And way to respond to just any old random Reddit account and newly created Gmail with information you'd like off the record. You and your canvassers eating pizza and playing Super Smash Brothers had nothing to do with the outcome in Georgia. And as evidenced by the events of last week, you're a bigger liability to any campaign than you could be an asset. And that's because of the choices you've made in your life and the things you've chosen to double down on. And also just the person you are. One more thing. You should probably add your views on the N-word to your positions page, which is absolutely laughable to anyone not inside your idiotic fan base. You will never be able to move to a legitimacy as you so obviously desperately crave. And it's all your own fault. Hope you have a bad life, asshole.
Lol, my goodness, mate. You've got problems.
President Sunday is definitely a name you've heard before if you've ever found yourself entrenched in the lore of the Twitch politics community. from heated debates with figures like Destiny to controversial friendship arguments with others like Xander or Chud Logic. He presents himself as somewhat of an academic alternative to the layman streamers within the Twitch and YouTube politics communities.
In fact, it's an apt description.
Please.
That is an
Okay.
apt description.
You said that you were
Sonsol,
like, let me finish my
Sonsol,
sentence.
Sonsol.
Oh my God! This
Sonsol.
conversation, the entire time, is
Sonsol.
gonna be you
Yeah, but
interrupting
this
me, because I actually haven't been able to
this
have an
misstatement
entire
cannot be
statement
borne,
all the way.
unfortunately. Sonsol.
Okay, well then let me say the rest of my misstatement, and you can blow me the fuck out on it in a second, okay? But holy shit, I haven't been able to get a single full thought out this entire conversation. May I? Thank you. So, I think people in that thread, if you want to scroll through it, there's plenty of examples of this,
Sonsol.
of them comparing themselves.
Sonsol. We have
So if you wanna say
scientific
that they're-
Sonsol. It is
hold on.
established.
No,
Yes.
no, there's no scientific. There's no
Yes,
science in
there
the
is.
Twitter thread.
There-
Not in this Twitter thread.
not on the Twitter thread.
When we
Sonsol.
Look, yeah.
Sonsol.
When we look at the way that
Sonsol.
people are responding. when we look
Sonsol.
at the way that
Stop
people are
and
responding
breathe.
There, and
Stop.
literally comparing themselves
Breathe.
to people off to listening to them. Thank you for letting me finish.
You're welcome. Sonsol. We have the Florida Medical Board.
Face on the internet. That's what I'm saying. You are the epitome of what it means to be like a weird clout chaser because you're too scared to let people talk.
Yeah, okay.
You know that you can
Sonsol,
virtue signal for a couple
Sonsol,
of seconds.
Sonsol,
And I will
Sonsol,
challenge you now.
Sonsol,
and this will be my
Sonsol.
last thing. This will be my last thing. I will challenge you now. Can you steel man my position as I have stated it?
Yeah, you're only on this issue. Sorry, every single time last 2 years is compared to people who were for policy results and exclusive policy and other things and other things. Your only input was compared to ones you had to have in reach to an identify.
Oh, holy shit. So, yeah, you are admitting right now that you did not listen to a goddamn word that I said whatsoever in this entire conversation. You are such a f***ing coward to talk to anybody about the things that they believe. You cannot let them speak. You cannot.
Sonsol.
You're so scared of actually putting out what their position is.
Sonsol.
My position is that I think that there are better and worse ways to have discourse.
Sonsol.
And when we
Sonsol.
allow, oh, yeah, Sonsol, you're not going to let me finish?
Sonsol.
Yeah.
Sonsol. This isn't a rap battle. Okay.
It's not a rap battle.
You
I'm not
can
even talking
breathe.
that fast.
Slow down.
But as you may be able to tell, his bizarre ways of speaking and arguing can often get him into trouble with others, leading to heated but hilarious confrontations.
To not talk about. I don't know. I don't need her to be.
So,
I don't need
you don't
her
know?
to be. Excuse me.
You don't
I was
know? Like,
Actually,
what do
I
you
was
mean you don't
actually
know?
finishing my sentence.
Okay.
I think an excellent example of this is
If
when
I-
she
if
mentions.
I-
Can I finish my sentence, please?
Yes, you can. My bad. And whenever I tried to explain that to you, your counter argument was that okay, well, she's being coerced by the situation.
I'm
Please,
astonished.
Come on, man.
I'm
Come on, man.
astonished. I'm
Come on, man.
astonished.
Come on, man.
I didn't
You
even
did the
catch
same
what you
thing to
said.
me earlier. Come on, man.
Breathe. Find your chi.
You breathe. Come on, man. Listen, your
I'm
argument
finding
was
it-
that
I'm
they
finding
are the
it-
same. Come on. The second
I'm
I put you in
finding
a
it-
corner, you start getting
blah,
really
blah,
upset.
blah.
You can't think that makes you look good, man.
Yep. Come
Hello,
on, man.
Are you ready to be normal?
No. Ciao. Alright, let's bring on Cherry.
His most popular conversation, however, is a confrontation with Destiny, where Sunday claims that he betrayed everything he once stood for.
So on June 4th, quote, if we actually held political content creators to account for their little acts of treasury to their avowed causes, we wouldn't have Destiny more or less openly betraying everything he ever claimed to stand for out of greed and hatred for other awful people doing his same bit.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good place to start. Wait, what
Yeah,
am I
that sounds good.
betraying out of greed?
Okay, cool. So what I was talking about here is concerned with how you deal with other content creators. Surprise, surprise, there's going to be nothing new here. So let's take Demon Mama as an example of what I'm talking about. I like this one because it highlights the unfairness of the situation you're in. So we know how Demon Mama got started as a very large online figure. Engagement with you of any kind is worth its weight in gold, yes? What this means is that if she can secure really any sort of engagement with you whatsoever, especially a hostile engagement, even if you successfully make her look like a fool, and I think there's definitely an audience that thinks that you have, and I've had moments, her visibility skyrockets. Doesn't matter how well it goes for her in the moment, just pure benefit.
Sure.
And because she knows that, just regularly being associated with you at all supplies her with visibility as well as therefore money. People like that will do and say anything to get a response from you. And no matter how abusive or dishonest she is because of your relative size, people will blame you for diverting your audience to terrorize her if you respond. almost regardless of what you say. And it gets worse, actually, because almost any response you make has the perverse result of signal boosting her platform. So defending yourself only encourages her to repeat the process. Again, it's perverse, but you, in effect, helped make her channel viable just by defending yourself. Just by being you, and by being decent enough to give her the light of day. For a moment, you helped her find money and recognition just for interacting with you. And then there's the snowball effect, where other people then seek out engagements with her to leech off of her increased visibility, further contributing to her growth, etc. Other examples abound. Keffels made disgusting false claims about you, and was likewise rewarded for it. So it doesn't matter how nice or mean you are, just by engaging with these people, you help them grow. So I think I get your frustration here. Am I being fair to you so far?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like I say so, yeah.
I don't know how you explain how you can help someone increase her funds and visibility who, in your words, literally flew to France to get into a boat to help drown refugees.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the issue is that if I were to take everything that you've said thus far as being true, which it is true, and this is a discussion I've had in my community a lot, where I'm basically left in a world where I can never engage with anybody that I have substantial disagreements with because I would signal boost them. I see that, like, I'm not invoking Vosh to shit talk about it, but like Vosh has like basically employed this strategy where he said that like I'm not going to engage with anybody that I disagree with that has a smaller platform than me, and I think that basically kills my entire business model and what I enjoy doing on stream. Like I want to be able to engage with people that are substantially smaller than me, or even people that I abhorrently disagree with.
Where I
I understand what you're saying. You have to have a few more steps of separation. Otherwise, you're materially helping these people as well.
Is that a fact?
Yes.
Oh, well then enjoy your video game, Steven. Have a good night.
Well, I was going to say, because if I'm having a conversation with you, then I do better in viewership than when I'm not having these types of conversations. And if you're helping to elevate my platform, you're inadvertently also elevating the...
Into trouble with others, leading to...
Find your chi.
You are the epitome. I said.
Console.
Yeah.
But as you may be able to tell, his bizarre ways of speaking and arguing
much now.
Can often get him into trouble with others, leading to heated but hilarious confrontations.
To not talk about. I don't know. I don't need her to be.
So,
I don't need
you don't
her
know?
to be. Excuse me.
You don't
I was
know? Like,
Actually,
what do
I
you
was
mean you
actually
don't know?
finishing my sentence.
Okay.
I think an excellent example of this
If-
is
if
when she
I-
mentions.
if I-
Can I finish my sentence, please?
Yes, you can. My bad. And whenever I tried to explain that to you, your counter argument was that okay, well, she's being coerced into by the situation.
I'm
Please,
astonished.
Come on, man.
I'm
Come on, man.
astonished. I'm
Come on, man.
astonished.
Come on, man.
I didn't
You
even
did the
get
same
to
thing
that.
to me earlier. Come on, man.
Breathe.
You breathe. Come on, man.
Do not question
Listen,
my power.
your
I'm
argument
finding
was
it-
that
I'm
they
finding
are the
it-
same.
To be discovered, the closer
on.
he came.
The second
I'm
I put you in
finding
the
it-
corner, you start
I'm
getting really upset.
You would speak to
Uh,
me.
blah, blah, You can't think that makes you look good, man.
Come on, man.
Are you ready to be normal?
No. Ciao.
Let's make it happen. I'll have to keep an eye out for this next time out there.
Alright, let's bring out Cherry.
His most popular conversation, however, is a confrontation with Destiny, where Sunday claims that he betrayed everything he once stood for.
So on June 4th, quote, if we actually held political content creators to account for their little acts of treasury to their avowed causes, we wouldn't have Destiny more or less openly betraying everything he ever claimed to stand for out of greed and hatred for other awful people doing the same bit.
Okay, yeah, that's a good place to start.
Night in
Wait, what am I
Sounds good.
betraying out of greed?
Okay, cool. So what I was talking about here is concerned with how you deal with other content creators. Surprise, surprise, there's going to be nothing new here. So let's take Demon Mama as an example of what I'm talking about. I like this one because it highlights the unfairness of the situation you're in. So we know how Demon Mama got started as a very large online figure. Engagement with you of any kind is worth its weight in gold, yes? What this means is that if she can secure really any sort of engagement with you whatsoever, especially a hostile engagement, even if you successfully make her look like a fool, and I think there's definitely an audience that thinks that you have, and I've had moments, her visibility skyrockets. Doesn't matter how well it goes for her in the moment, just pure benefit.
Sure.
And because she knows that, just regularly being associated with you at all supplies her with visibility as well as therefore money. People like that will do and say anything to get a response from you. And no matter how abusive or dishonest she is, because of your relative size, people will blame you for the hurt of your audience and terrorize her and respond. Almost regardless of what you say. And it gets worse actually, because almost any response you make has the perverse result of signal boosting her platform. So defending yourself only encourages her to repeat the process. Again, it's perverse, but you in effect help make her channel viable just by defending yourself. Just by being you, and by being decent enough to give her the light of day. For a moment, you helped her find money and recognition just for interacting. And then there's the snowball effect, where other people can seek out engagements with her to leech off of her increased visibility, further contribute to her growth, etc. Other examples abound. Keppel's made disgusting false claims about you, and was likewise rewarded for it. So it doesn't matter how nice or mean you are, just by engaging with these people, you help them grow. So I think I get your frustration here. Am I being fair to you so far?
Yeah, this is a...
No, that is. I don't know how you explain how you can help someone increase her funds and visibility who, in your words, literally flew to France to get into a boat to help drown refugees.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the issue is that if I were to take everything that you've said thus far as being true, which it is true, and this is a discussion I've had in my community a lot, where I'm basically left in a world where I can never engage with anybody that I have substantial disagreements with, because I would signal boost. I see that, like, I'm not invoking Vosh to shit talk about it, but like Vosh has like basically employed this strategy where he said like, I'm not going to engage with anybody that I disagree with that is a smaller platform, and I think that basically kills my entire. And what I enjoy doing on stream, like I want to be able to engage with people that are substantially smaller, or even people that I have more disagree with. I understand what you're saying. You have to have a few more steps of separation, otherwise your material will help you.
Is that a fact?
Yes.
Oh, well then enjoy your video game, Stephen. Have a good night.
Well, I was gonna say because if I'm having a conversation with you, then I do better in viewership than when I'm not having these types of conversations. And if you're helping to elevate my platform, you're inadvertently also elevating the platform. When
oh, well then enjoy your video.
Your material I agree with.
where I got.
I understand substantially smaller than me, or even people that I stream. Like I want to be able to engage with people that are substantially smaller than me, or even people that I abhorrently disagree with.
Where I got.
I understand what you're saying. You have to have a
Yeah.
few more steps of separation. Otherwise, you are materially helping these people as well.
Is that a fact?
Yes.
Oh, well then enjoy your video game, Steven. Have a good night.
Well, I was gonna say because if I'm having a conversation with you, then I do better in viewership than when I'm not having these types of conversations. And if you're helping to elevate my platform, you're inadvertently also elevating the platform that's elevating other racist people. So, but I guess we didn't get to go to that. Well,
Mike from PA is quite the bizarre figure in streamer politics. From heated screaming matches to failed Riz attempts resulting in physical outbursts, he's generally seen as a strange person in the community and typically not taken very seriously. What most people don't know, however, is his history and his origin story. Mike graduated from the University of Pittsburgh Law School, but never ended up taking the bar exam. And after a healthy career as a legal aid and intern at the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, he began his run for office. But things would quickly spin wildly out of control when he claimed to be, or was put down as, depending on who you believe, as a lawyer on his nominating petition. And, since this was technically false, it disqualified him from running for office. However, he was able to get 300 people to write in requesting they could vote for him, which in turn allowed him to run. This incident clearly affected his performance as a candidate, giving plenty of ammunition for his opposition to batter him with. But after his career in politics came to an unfortunate end, he decided to make the leap to live streaming, becoming an IRL orbiter of Twitch political streamer Bad Bunny, or Kira Chats, mostly known for this infamous clip.
How did my whole speech about how I need subs and to get the stream going if you like the content, blah, 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 how that results in 0 subs? There are regulars here. $5 a month! How do you have hours of time to watch me and not $5? I don't know. What are you doing with your life where you have hours of time to watch Twitch and not $5 to provide for the content that you're watching?
Mike was mocked by other creators for his often awkward behavior around her, clearly trying to charm her, to a less than successful degree, leading to these iconic awkward clips.
I think that's fine. So if a guy pays for my tab,
I'm getting your attention. I feel like I touched a vampire touching holy water.
can I help you?
I think they want to go in.
Okay.
He thinks you're kidding. He still thinks I'm kidding. He still thinks I'm kidding.
I don't think.
Really?
No, I don't think you're kidding.
You did really, and then you gave me this fucking smile. Like it was so funny to you. You think this is all funny. Very upsetting.
Maybe that's my reaction.
And then your genuine reaction to things really didn't like it.
Well, okay, but
That's what you get.
I'll give you a piece of advice that I myself like stand by and have learned over many years. You always expect someone to be like on your level and understanding of the same like emotions that you have, and you'll always be disappointed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but this is like a severe.
But
severe
that's
failure.
sure, but like you can't like get mad at
Okay.
at a person because of that.
This feels good.
Oh my god.
Yeah. This feels good.
What did you just do? Why is this couch now moved? Did you just hit the couch?
I just nudged
Bit of a break.
Oh shit, they're here.
There's a lot more lore around Mike, and I honestly don't have the time to cover it fully within this video, so keep an eye out for a future retelling. In the meantime, however, enjoy this ballad dedicated to Mike and his journey from longtime Destiny community member and personal chef, Lycan.
This is the bad
this, they say. Mikey, heart of gold, that bunny, she laughs so, but they loved each other anyway. Mikey, say that he likes me back, but me, won't you love me? No. Enough. She just say.
The Lost Orbiters refers to a series of cast members within the Destiny universe who, for whatever reason, no longer show up on his streams. From more controversial figures like Mr. Girl, who I covered in my original Destiny Iceberg video, to people upset with the community like X-Skillsme. And finally, to others who I haven't taken a look at yet, like Booksmarts for instance. I would be here all day if I covered all of the people who don't like Destiny anymore. So today, we're going to review just one example, and that example is Booksmarts, the resident optics analyzer, and the drama that he had with Destiny. Booksmarts was a regular guest on Destiny's streams from 2019, and over the course of their tenure as an Orbiter, he engaged in a variety of different discussions on a wide range of topics. They were often seen as a counterpoint to Destiny's more outspoken and argumentative style of speaking, almost like a walking, talking optics check. Booksmarts and Destiny quickly garnered a strong friendship, with Book frequently calling in to give Destiny rhetorical criticism and advice.
Hi, can you hear me okay? So, I just finished watching the Vosh video. Do you want to talk about that at all, or is that an uncomfortable subject?
Oh, I'll talk about anything you ever want to talk about.
Okay. Unless it's a review I do of you that I spend hours and hours editing, then you don't care about it.
I'll still talk about it. Go ahead.
Do you want to talk about that? Because that kind of ticks me off a little bit. Like, you're like, oh, it's too long. I sit there and I timestamp the whole motherfucking thing, but we'll set that aside.
Okay,
we do an edited
hold on.
version.
Firstly, I have no obligation to watch any of your videos, okay? Number one, okay? I love you and I appreciate the conversation and everything. I don't have like an obligation, okay? So it's not like I'm like breaking a contract or something, okay?
Good thing I didn't say obligation, bro.
No, but when you when you express disappointment or when you express that you're upset that somebody didn't do something, usually that upsettedness is usually like an inability to fulfill an obligation. That's usually why we get mad at people. It's like, oh, like you didn't do that.
Oh, are you invalidating my feelings right now? I think I have every right to be upset that you wouldn't even watch it. I think that's...
It's safe to say Destiny and Book ended up fostering a good relationship and having many good conversations. But cracks in their bond began to appear when the Bob 7 drama dawned. Destiny and Booksmarts clashed over his use of the word manipulative to describe Destiny's behavior during the Bob 7 drama, with them having a heated debate about the issue.
I think it's fair. We have to understand this. Do you understand that when you say manipulative, like, the implication there is actually far darker than what actually happened? Do you agree with that or not?
I don't think so, but I don't put a lot on that term. I think that's, like I said at the beginning, I think it's a really vacuous thing you guys toss back and forth with each other.
Okay, hold on. I don't think it's vacuous. I think this is like material to like everything between them.
Even though the two clashed over this, their drama wouldn't reach critical mass until Destiny's Twitter fell into peril. Destiny ended up confronting Booksmarts, and this led to a heated conversation.
Trying to ascertain your mental state when you said it. And that combined with what I know you think about my Twitter behavior, what you were really thinking was that even if you didn't know 100%, I probably said something really racy, really dicey on Twitter, and I probably deserve to get banned for it. That's what was going on in your head at the time. That's what you believe. And you were kind of like just banking on that being true. I think that's what happened. And now you want to kind of like find a way to like move past it by making it seem like, oh, well, it was just kind of like a mistake or whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know, I won't do it again. I'll be more responsible in the future. But that's not what happened. It wasn't like a,
but that's more of an emotional outburst than something that like sober me is thinking what like day to day. Like
I don't believe in like 100% emotional outbursts. I don't think that's a real thing.
it's not 100% emotional outburst.
Yeah, it's indicative of
I'm
like
speaking
inner
out of
thoughts that
turn
you have.
here.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
these are things.
and it is
yeah.
indicative of inner thoughts.
But that's what I'm speaking
Your behavior
to.
of frustration, like you frustrate me with your behavior on Twitter, but that doesn't mean that I think that your behavior on Twitter breaks Twitter TOS. I don't know anything about Twitter TOS.
It sounds like at best you're guilty of making a really strong and confident statement in ignorance.
Yes, and that's what. Of course, is what I'm gonna think is going on here. But like again, I'm ignorant to whatever this jerk wave is about you, anyways. I understand people are gonna applaud if you weren't even banned on Twitter. This is about a hypothetical in the first place. There's no
It's
wave
not about
that
a
I'm
hypothetical. It's about my very real permanent ban status on Twitter. I am permanently banned on Twitter. And it's not hypothetical too because you said like, and then you even make the other statement too that's ridiculous, like he deletes tweets to avoid accountability.
Yes, I think you deleting tweets that you think you're going to get in trouble for is avoiding the accountability that those tweets would bring upon the account. Like, I feel like that's tautological to use what you said earlier.
It's...
Wait, real quick. How do you feel about that behavior now after learning about like the ban or you know, taking down...
Alabral is a Twitch streamer, YouTuber, and D&D superfan, social media personality who is known for his commentary on the Twitch community and his appearance on panels like the Raj Royale. Over the course of his career, he's gotten into a lot of controversies, but it wouldn't make much sense if I didn't use some of his most bizarre and angry moments on the Raj show to introduce him.
First of all, give Greek a congratulations because he's lost a tremendous amount of weight. Let's give it up to Greek.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of weight.
Congratulations and keep going. But the question that I have to ask you, Greg, is side between Lumiru and Alabro.
Jesus Christ, these are getting hard. All right, Lumi, you're up. Why do you want to be here?
I want to be here to spread the social justice agenda thing, the gay agenda, and the social justice message. Me.
It's okay. All right, Alabral, back on the chopping block again. Why do you want to be here?
Don't them, they're asexual.
What?
That was pretty weird.
What the hell are you talking about, Alabro?
Wait, what happened?
I didn't follow that at all.
Well, I follow.
Elbro speaking for Lumiru sexuality. Poggers.
What was that?
I think.
I hope that you are so drilled into the ground from your beliefs that you are so scared to be able to speak about these things and wear your hateful bullshit. I hope that you are goddamn destroyed. Name one thing.
That's all that.
Name one thing. You idiot. You piece of shit. You so hard. You're the one that's crying that you came into my DMs and were trying to be a nice guy. You. Every time you come to me, I've said you.
The only reason he talks about it is because he wants to look good for partnership. He doesn't give a fuck.
I know. That's my entire goddamn concern.
Well, he can hate me or not. Okay, well, that's it, guys.
But his most controversial moments come from his drama and beef with political media personality and streamer Destiny, especially concerning comments he made on the former's son, which came around the time of the beginning of the Lefty arc.
Okay, we're testing our internet out to make sure Alabro is dunking on your son? What do you mean?
He had a child, and he's just paying for the child's existence. Abortion was the correct action here. Listen, he does not take an active role in the child's upbringing.
Good luck, boy.
He pays everything. He makes sure that they're well taken care of financially. But he brought a life into the world that he didn't have any intention of loving or caring for. And that's what abortion is for. The pregnancy happens between two people that have no intention to raise a family together.
Delicious.
That's what it does.
What?
Stop talking.
Why would you even think for a second that you would have the wherewithal to have any idea what the relationship is between me and my kid to suggest that I should have gotten an abortion? Firstly. Secondly, Yeah, I live in LA and I have a much less role in my son's life now, but before that I saw him 5 nights a week. Like, why would you assume that like I have had no role in his life at all since the moment of his inception? Why would you ever think that you would be in the right to get onto a stream and say, I think that he should have aborted his kid? Why would you ever think that would be a good look for you, or that would be a good thing to say?
Alabrel responded later and offered a statement that resembled an apology.
What was my prediction again? That he'd say, I'm sorry, I didn't really mean what I said. It came off as too harsh. I was just upset when I said it. I shouldn't have said this thing. It's not fair for me to say. I don't know his family life or whatever. It's not for me to say or something, right?
I don't know how to deal with any of this. I am so angry.
God's grant me
At
strength.
myself.
I am sorry that I did anything to hurt anyone except for Destiny.
Way to spoil the surprise, old man.
I don't know how to deal with it. I keep getting dragged into the middle of
You
it,
look different.
and I don't know what to do. I should have known better.
Man.
And I'm going to do my best to not to do it again. But I care so it happens.
Remember when I told you guys dealing with online hate is hard? Look, these guys break down. Look at this guy. This guy broke down after 100. Let's be real now, okay? Let's have some perspective.
You haven't broken down.
Hell yeah.
Are we really breaking down, or are those just like crocodile tears?
Afterwards, Alabrel started showing up less and less on panels, and slowly faded into irrelevance. And besides a recent controversy regarding striking a video essayist called HyperCat, who made a video on him, he's more or less disappeared from online spaces, his recent contributions only being hosting paid online Dungeons & Dragons sessions. Tier 6. This section refers to the implied beef between streamers Hassan Piker and Ian Kaczynski, better known as Vosh. Despite their shared dislike of Destiny and their closer political ideologies, Hassan refuses to acknowledge Vosh's existence, and if you dare to type his name in chat, you'll promptly receive a permanent ban, similar to typing Destiny. Some posit that as Hassan grew, he just started ignoring all debate bros, including Vosh, even though they had no history of explicit beef.
Why don't Hassan and Vosh get along? I know DGG hates both, so I trust her opinion on why these guys don't get along. Have they even ever talked to each other?
Vosh was defending Hassan, especially for the $3 million home purchase, until Hassan said the annexation of Crimea was a justifiable act. At that point, Vosh burnt the bridge by going too hard on him, and to be fair, Hassan was never going to give him a platform to begin with.
Everybody's familiar with Vosh and his debate style, but what you may not know is where his research comes from, and that is from online politics debater and YouTuber Rose Rest. Rose has had many interesting conversations over his tenure as a character in streamer politics, from his White Nervosa website being shut down and his domain hijacked to redirect to a Keffel site after he assisted in checking a report criticizing her, to his discussions of tough ethical issues like veganism. Rose was also fairly well known for the Ultimate Research Document, a Google Doc consisting of meticulously researched arguments on every possible hot-button progressive issue, with studies and data to boot.
This entire section is credited to Rose Rist, a former guest of the stream. They are nearly entirely responsible for the collection of this data. Seriously, I just ripped most of this from their document, with their permission of course. I'm only broadcasting their incredible work with my much larger audience.
Despite Rose doing a great service to the debate community and to Vosh himself, they would later have a bridge-burning conversation over his self-defense takes, where Vosh was clearly unhappy with Rose's opinions on his language.
another question I have right now. So, you talked about the utilitarian thing before. So, if it would be possible, if it were to be possible to get away with, Republican lawmakers with no consequences, would it then be?
Are you Are you actually Fed posting at me right now? You're glowing in this convo. Wait, are you being fed these questions?
No, I'm not being fed these questions. These are this is like the line of questions that I want to ask now. How the fuck did somebody in my chat get my rose wrist thing? No, I'm not trying to bait you into things. I'm just trying to understand exactly where this line is. Because I think it's an
Destiny's watching the stream right now. I don't know. If you could describe the exact rooftop vantage point from which you would, I defer to your answer.
This section refers to a group of supposedly left-wing debaters, or massive trolls depending on who you ask, who advocate for an alliance between hardcore Trump supporters and communists. From dating Jonah Hill's girlfriend to debating Destiny Live, this situation is pretty crazy. But to start off, allow me to introduce Infrahaz and Jackson Hinkle. Jackson Hinkle, born September of 1999, is an American political commentator, YouTuber, and social media influencer. Hinkle has been described as far-right, right-wing, and conservative, and he's also been accused of spreading misinformation and conspiracy theories. In 2021, he was banned from the social media platforms WhatsApp, YouTube, PayPal, and Twitch for violating their terms of service. Hinkle has had a litany of controversial views on a lot of different subjects, but his most bizarre discussions took place in the online politics sphere. Infrahaz, on the other hand, is a similarly-minded commentator with a flair for the dramatic, so much so that he's often been described as a troll. Ergo, they don't actually believe he holds the views he says he does, and after watching some clips of his debates, it's not hard to figure out why.
By what justifications can Russia...
Don't repeat the question, answer it. By what justification can the Russians...
Oh, you're a tough guy, aren't you? You're gonna interrupt. Answer it! Excuse me.
Defend myself. How am I supposed to defend myself? I have...
By what justification can Russia...
invade South Ossetia? I want to know. You just told me that they're not ethnic Russians, so what's the justification?
You haven't demonstrated. The justification specifically is the fact that...
Do we have more fillers to provide me?
No, the justification is very simple.
What's the justification?
Reel in your man! Reel in your man, John!
I love how f***ing angry you are. Can you chill for a second?
I want to ask a question, okay? If in 2 weeks, Moscow doesn't have people on the ground in Kiev, hasn't taken the city, what are you going to say? What's the reason for that?
I would say things did not go as planned then.
In what sense?
That they failed to execute their goals, probably.
You doubted me, but I saw it too with my own eyes. There are only 2 holes! Whoa! There are only 2 holes! Whoa! There are only 2 holes! Whoa! There are only 2 holes!
Together, the two are proponents of MAGA communism, a bizarre slogan calling on those who support the working class or who are aligned with communist ideology to ally with the movement to elect Donald J. Trump. From ambushing Destiny Live to making speeches at bizarre concerts, I'll play a few clips to give you a good idea of who exactly these people are.
Americans vote for the Democratic Party. And if there's any more questions about rules or regulations, the only last thing I can say is that afterwards, of course, a 3-judge panel will decide who gets the championship belt mailed to them after this debate. So, is everybody ready?
As ready as we'll ever be.
Wonderful. So, since Infrared is the challenger for the belt, I will give him first word on should people vote for the Democratic Party.
So to begin, hold on, wait, someone's at the door. You need to...
Okay, Destiny. I can't mess with it's mind games.
Hey, how's it going?
We're going great.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
We're
Doing
doing
good.
great.
What's the question?
Should people vote for Democrats?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Wow, I can't believe you took on the Minotaur. No way!
Okay, if that's the intro, Destiny, now you can start with yours.
The intro, I'll do my intro. I'll do my intro. We should not vote for Democrats because at the end of the day, Democrats are only an arm of the corporate oligarchy. They're furthering the imperialist wars. They are crippling more Americans.
I
into
can't hear anything you're saying. Your mic is like really like fucking up.
Is it too loud?
Yeah, it's like the gain is like immense.
The Ask Yourself universe refers to a community of politics and veganism debaters led by political YouTuber Ask Yourself, with his debates taking a focus on ethics and moral philosophy. Ask Yourself got his start on his YouTube channel around 5 years ago, having debates with notable figures like Hassan Piker and Blair White, questioning their ethics and their consumption of meat.
Hassan, how's it going? Pretty good, man. Pretty good so far. I'm actually shocked that this is going a lot more cordial. Yeah, I know. I've done AMAs in here also and been generally pleased with how they conduct things. I think it's really good. Okay. Okay, so my question for you is on veganism. It's pretty simple. So my question to you would be, if we swap all the traits true of animals to match those of humans, is there any trait that once switched would justify making humans into hamburgers? Oh no, we're doing the name the trait game. This is like the impossible to defeat veganism argument.
Ask Yourself quickly grew and even started debating people like Destiny. Similar to Ask Yourself, there's also a broad group of debaters that focus on veganism, including Vegan Gains and Avi Bitterman.
Let's see, we got some soy protein isolate right here. I eat this every day. We got lentils, this is the bulk of my diet. Got oats here. Got nutritional yeast. Tell me, which of these products contain corn, dude? Huh? I eat corn?
Hey, go get the rest of it.
Really? Okay, sure, I'll get my entire kitchen.
Richard,
What?
you calm down, you're scaring the
I'll get my entire goddamn kitchen. Let's see.
scaring the animals. Can you calm down?
Yeah.
You're screaming like crazy.
Yeah, okay.
Stop.
I feel bad for his wife. What do I mix with?
Okay, let's see. Tell me. Here's some yellow. No, this is brown rice. Does brown rice contain corn? Let's see what else. We got a sack of potatoes here. Do potatoes contain corn? Yellow split peas. Is this corn? Oh, I got green peas. Is this corn? Where's the goddamn corn, dude? Tell me where the corn is.
There's some more back there. Go get it.
As we close off this video, I want to reflect on the somber fate that has befallen the Twitch politics community. Once a titan of discourse, with panels, controversial figures, and scolding hot takes, has now become an insular husk of its former self. We've entered into something almost akin to a Cold War period. How is it that 3 of the most popular political content creators of all time hate each other and won't even speak to one another? It's a sad fate for a community that once inspired the passion for driven dialogue in its viewers and its streamers. However, I want to offer some optimism. Coming up on the 2024 election, is it possible that the community will endeavor to reunite, to put aside their differences for the greater good, and to advocate for a better future together? It seems we'll just have to wait and see. But for now, the community remains as fractured as it seems it'll ever be. But what if this was all by design? This section states that the death of the Twitch politics community, as demonstrated and documented throughout this video, was all engineered by Twitch itself. It states that while punditry from figures like Hasan is brand safe, content from the likes of Vosh or Destiny is not.
There's this concept that exists right now in progressive media about being edgy, but it's like the most politically safe edgy
That
possible.
Twitch's departnering and vague ban of Destiny was entirely purposeful, designed to kill off all the leading figures of the Twitch politics community, divide and conquer, leaving panels like the Hippy Dippy without any popular guests to drive viewership, killing off morale within the community to a point where even more controversial figures like Demon Mama just don't generate content and reactions like they used to. And while